What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agree to Disagree. Philadelphia Eagles, NFC East champions, baby. We're going to break it down, talk about it, get into the playoffs. We got it all on the table tonight. Let's go.
Uncle Sweeps, Nick Delgado, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on HUD Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc. Make him yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal. Specialized Physical Therapy, locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, that's Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. Welcome in. We'll do Crumb of the Week at the end of the show, like we do every Sunday. We'll give an early look at the Giants game. And really, we don't give a shit about the game, per se, but I think we're going to care about if Saquon's playing or not. So I'm sure that's going to be a topic of conversation tonight. So we'll give an early look. And we're going to give an early look at the playoffs because we'll find a lot out. You know, there's 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter in this game right here. And we're going to find out if Washington's coming here or maybe if it's going to be Green Bay. So we're going to find a lot out in the next 13 minutes. So we'll keep you in tune there. And we'll give you our Eagles Cowboys post game and dive into it. Dive in what we watch today. It's always great to win the NFC East. It's even better to win the NFC East beating the Cowboys. And it's always better in the Kelly Greens, but it's always better winning the NFC East, beating the Cowboys, but not just beating them, roll jobbing them. Yeah. And we talked about it on Wednesday, essentially Thursday, and I said I had no concerns about this game whatsoever. I don't care who's quarterbacking, that I thought it was going to be a roll job, right? Yep. And here we are. It was a roll job, and Greg, I was close. And my prediction of Kenny Pickett, 280 plus, right? He might have been close to that if he doesn't get hurt and if that AJ, isn't called back. But either way, I'm not telling you that anybody can run this offense. I'm just saying that, I had a feeling with their defense as bad as it is. Well. Yeah, because their defense is brutal too. Yeah. So, knowing that going into it, you can expose a little bit. They did. So great win today. Obviously, we'll talk about the win. We'll talk about the playoffs, everything coming up for the Eagles, answering your questions, whatever you got. But our poll, got to get into it. Saquon Barkley will break the rushing record next week against the Giants. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Say it every Sunday. Most importantly, join the conversation. Already Brink saying, let him run, baby. Let him run. So he's what, like 100 yards away, 101 yards away? 101 away.
101.
Listen, usually I would tell you that I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I have mixed.
Let me tell you what I think. I think I think at most he plays the first half. At most. Because you can't, if he gets hurt, it's a terrible look. Granted, obviously you can get hurt at any time. I get that. But in a meaningless game, it would be an awful look. Sirianni would get killed over it. I would love him to break it. I think maybe he plays the first half and you give him like 10 to 15 carries and see if he can break it. If not, well, whatever. Great year.
Yeah, I've mixed emotions and reactions on it. And I'll put it like this. I thought my goal for him was 2,000. All right, because there's only 8 people who have done that. He did that in 16 games. So nobody can say anything about it. There's no asterisk you want to throw next to it for that.
I don't understand the asterisk talk.
For that crowd, there's nothing
to throw next to it.
But my point
is there an asterisk by Dickerson because OJ did it in 14? Like, what are we even talking about?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Plus,
but the whole point to this was simply that I don't need him to break Dickerson's.
No, neither do I. I'd much rather win in the playoffs
because you getting to 2,000 is such a big accomplishment in its own, and I don't know. This is the conversation. With
I know they want it. I know the O-line wants it. I know there's guys that want it. I'm sure.
And if there's guys who want it, listen, I'll honor my players in that, right? If there's guys who want it, I got to honor my players in it. I really wanted this week as a breather for my O-line, for Saquon Barkley. I wanted those guys fresh going into the playoffs.
Absolutely.
But if those guys are hungry to play half of football because they're hell-bent on trying to get this, and make this happen, then there's the other side of me who's like, I'm not going to say no to my players either. Now, you got to protect your players from themselves.
Yeah, that's why I tell them, listen, you got a half. You know, you got the first half to try to make it happen, and you're not going to play in the second half.
Because part of me, if this was any other team we were playing, I would automatically disagree with the poll and move on.
Yeah,
Biggs
no,
is the team
but
that let him go
against the Giants. Yeah,
and it's our division rival, one of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? I feel obligated for him to go, burn MetLife to the ground.
And like with everything, everyone keeps showing that clip.
It's here though.
The clip of their owner, like I'm afraid that he goes to Philly, and then like the best way to end that is to set the rushing record against the Giants. Like that would be incredible. But like you said, if we had the bye, Tommy, I'd say play him. Fucking, of course, play him because we're gonna have a week off. We don't have the bye. We're gonna have to play. And guess what? The NFC's tough. We're gonna play a good team. Washington's good and Green Bay's good. Whoever we're playing is gonna be a good team. So I'm in favor of some rest.
All right, so you're gonna disagree.
I mean, I still think I'll play him for the first half, but I'm in favor of if they want to not play him the whole game, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, as you know, I haven't answered it yet either. Sort of just like feeling it out, feeling what you guys think here too. Taking into account of what the chat's saying. J3, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity though, and I get that. And so there's a chance.
Yeah, and then if he gets hurt though, what is it? That's the thing is, if he gets hurt, what do you say? Because then,
but he could get hurt this week in practice. He could get hurt leaving the house.
Greg,
right?
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
in a meaningless game though, it looks awful.
I don't disagree.
No.
I don't disagree.
And
I absolutely 100% agree to the poll.
You can't play not to be like you can't if you play not to afraid of getting hurt. That's when you get hurt. So I don't
look at Chase Brown.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, shouldn't have went down.
Just scored a touchdown.
I'm fine with them. I'm fine with whatever their decision is, honestly. But I wouldn't play him more than a half.
Oh, so Greg 100% agrees with it.
That's where I'm at as well. It's a half. Everybody plays a half. I don't want Jalen missing 2 weeks heading into the playoffs, and then we're going to spend the first quarter of Jalen being rusty from spending 2 weeks out with an injury.
Yeah, I
right?
can smell that already. He better.
Everybody plays a half.
He needs to play a half.
Everybody plays a half. Everybody plays a half. And you Saquon, you got it in a half. Because, the whole thing with the asterisk, right? Saquon's done it in less carries. So I don't care about games. He's done it in about 30 less carries than Eric Dickerson did it in.
I don't even understand the asterisk.
The games can go out the window when you do it in less carries. Right? So now you got, call it 15 carries, Saquon, the first half or first quarter, right? Whatever it is. You got it. Go do it. And then sit.
I feel a certain type of way about this. Like, I don't know how to feel because, like, I'm the guy who'd be yelling and screaming, why are these guys playing? Any of them.
Yeah.
If they get hurt, because I've been the guy demanding a bye week somewhere because you didn't have your bye week since week 5. So I've been the guy demanding it because you need it. You need it to avoid injuries. You got a gauntlet now. Now you're in playoff time. It revs up another level. I can use where I'm going to win at, which is up front on both sides of the football, to get off of their feet for a week. It's not, you know what I mean? That I can use. My quarterback going and playing a quarter fine. Like certain things I can live with. But I really don't want any of them playing. That being said, somebody asked me, is the MVP still in the conversation for Saquon? Yeah. If he breaks Dickerson's rushing record, he should be the MVP.
Yeah.
No. I don't care about it. I know Josh Allen. He's one of my favorite players in the league.
I think Lamar might win it.
Lamar, I get it. They both have ridiculous years. You broke a record that hasn't been broken in how long? That matters.
I agree.
It matters.
83? Is that when Dickerson did it? I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
Definitely early 80s or late 70s.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Might have been 82. It's a long time.
But the point is, so 42 years. 42 years since the record's been broken, and a guy goes and does it the way he did it, and you said I don't know. My point of that always is that conversation is back on the table now because he's so close to that. The MVP is back on the table. There's a lot of things on the table. The rushing record, MVP of the league. So from the player's perspective, as teammates, you're almost like, dude, let this guy play. Yep. So I'm glad it's not my decision
Yeah.
I don't know if in the history of A2D I ever just been like strictly down the middle on a pole, but like right now I'm like I can't die on either hill really. I don't know what's right. I really don't. For the first time ever, I don't have an argument. I can have an argument for both sides. The easy argument, if they get hurt, we're burning it down.
Yeah,
right.
That's the reason that I feel like you can't play them. But like because of that factor. But like we said, you can get hurt at any time. I get that. It's just I want them to get rest. I don't know. I'll play him a half just because I feel like he could get it in a half.
He get in
especially because the Giants are terrible.
He get in the first quarter.
But it's just like I don't know. It's so tough to decide.
But they also know what he's trying to do and what they're trying to do, and then they're just
I was gonna say they're gonna put 9 in the box. So yeah, it's tough. It's a tough decision, really. I'll give him a half.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's where I'm at. I'll give him a half. And I can't give him more than a half. If he has like 94 yards, I'm sorry. You're going to end up 7 yards short.
Unless you make a phone call to Dable at halftime. Yo, 1 rush, 10 yards, we're done.
Yeah, I don't know if rest is for the week, Rob.
Yeah, that's
like
from
in,
Rob.
In this conversation, like in this conversation, like it's not rest is for
Rob,
the
I
week.
do love you, but the boo comment earlier. Now I'm just going to be against everything you say.
Like I don't know how it's for the week though. Like I understand, like, hey, this is an important record.
No, it's very important rest. Why do you think that everyone wants the fucking 1 seed?
Yeah. It's absolutely important. So if you can get it in week 17, or week 18, if you can get it in week 18,
I'll tell you what, that Minnesota Lions game is going to be a banger next week.
It is.
Minnesota's fucking good. Yeah. And they're really good at home.
No, it's just, I don't know what the right answer is for him though.
No, it's tough, Tommy. It's very tough.
Well, yeah, I mean, you both are right. Like ultimately it's going to come down to what the team wants and what Saquon wants, right? And I think Nick, for what we, for as much as we want to get on Nick for his outward and stuff he does on the field sometimes, Nick has that locker room, and that locker room plays and works for Nick, right? So I think whatever decision that he's going to make is going to be the decision that the team's going to make, and they're going to ride or die through that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that, Craig. It is a very tough decision. It really is. But yeah, I like what John said. I think I'm in favor of everyone playing the first half.
To me,
and then I would take everybody out. And see, it's different because there's no upside for us in playing this game. We're not going to move from the 2 seed.
Yeah,
like the Chiefs, for instance. If I think the Chiefs are going to play their guys next week, and if I was the Chiefs, I would play their guys because they're going to have such a long time off because they played on Wednesday. If they don't play next week, that's like 24 days off.
I thought it was already decided that Carson was playing.
I mean, he might be. I'm just saying, in my opinion, especially because if the Chiefs
Carson might be playing, but the rest of the team might be playing around him.
Like if
the only guy that might be getting time off is Mahomes. Then.
Yeah, I mean he can do whatever he wants. He don't want to play. He don't play. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go to a different island. You come back.
You can do whatever the fuck you want, Pat.
Come back to a divisional round.
I'm just saying though, but another reason for the Chiefs that it makes sense is if you look at it, if the Chiefs beat Denver, like the Chiefs are kind of screwing over whoever gets the 2 seed because whoever gets 2 seed does not want Cincinnati to get the fucking 7 seed at all. So if the Chiefs beat Denver, they have a chance of getting Cincinnati into the playoffs.
Yeah,
which helps them.
3 teams' fate hangs potentially on Carson Wentz's shoulders.
I got a question for you guys.
He'll probably play well.
Our only chances of winning the Super Bowl is this entire offense being healthy, right?
Yeah, that's why if God forbid he gets, he doesn't even have to get hurt. He pulls a hamstring. Like
the more I think about
it would be so devastating.
I'm out.
You know what I mean? Like it's such a it would be such a devastating blow if he got hurt that we would be going from such a high to such a low.
Yeah,
we might lose.
We don't play this game. We don't play this game with all due respect, and I think you can say a lot of things about me maybe, back in the day as a player, but one thing you can never say is what kind of teammate I was. So being the type of teammate I am and how I think, and I think the type of teammate he is that like, for what? We don't play this game for individual awards. We play this game to be the last team standing.
Yeah.
We play this game to win championships, right? And he didn't come here in hopes of breaking Eric Dickerson's record. He came here in hopes of winning a championship. And listen, man, you see how these guys get tackled all the time, dude. I mean, you're a roll up.
You never know.
Yeah, you're a roll up away. You're something fluky away. It's not like, oh, let a wide receiver go play, right? Where like the chance of that wide receiver.
Yeah, or like
hurt.
a quarterback who gets like, obviously quarterbacks still get hurt, but they don't let the quarterback, like running back. You're getting hit. Like you're getting
There's
hit.
no way around this for you.
It's not like a quarterback where like, oh, he might only get hit twice in the game. Like he's getting hit every time he touches the ball.
Yep. Yep. And the more I think about it, it's like, for what? Because God forbid he sprains an ankle and he's 80% in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
80%,
don't we want him to be 100%?
80% isn't enough for me.
No, he's got to be 100. And like he's firing on all
Bowl.
cylinders right now. I need him to be like
our
that.
luck, he would on his last rush, he would go over it by 3 yards and
pull a hammy.
Yeah. Right. Like that'd be our luck. Like, oh, woo, we won in. And you know what else I don't want? Can I tell you what else I don't want? I don't want that celebration happening. I got bad juju with that celly happening. And I'll tell you why. Because we're going to celebrate like we won something when that happens. I'm just giving devil's advocate to this, right? Of course, I would like to see him break the record, right?
You might win some, but you just lost one.
But
yeah.
like, you're celebrating like you won something and you didn't. And, next week you got a playoff game. And you got to get up for that. So you can worry about a little bit of that, maybe.
Yeah, and it's a big one.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of tough teams. Like whoever we play is going to be tough. Washington's tough. Green Bay's tough. We're going to play a tough team,
right? We know them.
I mean,
and none of them scare me. We played Green Bay already this year.
The first game of the year, Greg.
Yeah, but I'm saying we know them. It's not like we didn't already, game plan against them at least once recently.
Wow. I mean, I feel a lot has changed since the first week of the year. But I mean, I'm just saying they're a good team. It's not like we're getting a lot of times the 7 seed. I feel like is going to be not a very good team. Both these teams are going to have 11 wins.
Yeah.
Like look at the AFC. Whoever gets in is going to be 9-8 probably at the 7 seed. In the NFC, they're going to be 11-6 or better.
No, you're getting either Green Bay or Washington, and both are competitive as shit. I don't think there's a chance in hell Washington comes here and beats us again.
No, that's why I'd rather get Washington because we'll beat them.
Yes.
I will stamp that we'll beat Washington.
Green Bay.
I think we'll beat Green Bay too, but
Green Bay's style of play scares me because they can run the football.
Yeah, they run the fucking ball.
And if there's a place where maybe you can beat us better, I would say like, well, listen, if you sustain drives, right, and
they have good corners, so they'll probably load the box.
Yep. So neither's an easy one.
No,
by
not
any
at all.
stretch. But I just don't listen. My point
That's
is
another reason that I feel like
I'm not playing
a good
scared.
idea.
Yeah, I'm not scared of like injury. I'm scared of injury when it doesn't matter.
Yes.
I want everybody to understand this right now. I ain't the soft guy in 2024 going on 2025, right? I want my players to play. But when the game is irrelevant and you're already the 2 seed and you have nothing to play for outside of a rushing record, I don't know. And you get hurt in that game.
We're not even talking about just Saquon getting hurt. Anybody.
Anyway, Landon Dickerson
I don't want
goes
anybody
down.
getting hurt. And one of our linemen go down.
I'll just give this one. Landon Dickerson goes down. Cam Jurgens goes down. This season's over. Lane Johnson goes down. Season over.
Yeah.
There's ways this season can get over real quick before a playoff game even happens. And you know our record without Lane Johnson. So do we think it's necessary to go starting starters for even a quarter? For what?
I'm not sure what this guy's saying here. Well, we don't need the last game. Obviously, if we needed the last game, everyone would play. The reason that we're talking about it is because we don't. The game is meaningless. It means nothing.
Yeah, that's what he said at the end.
Raj, so's winning a Super Bowl. Raj, so that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, too.
I would much rather win the Super Bowl. I don't care about the record.
Both are once in a lifetime. The guy's one of 8 players. He's one of 8 players
next year.
in the history of the NFL. He's one of 8 players to even rush for 2,000. Dude, you're going to Canton, bro. You're one of 8 players to rush for 2,000. He's going to Canton. He doesn't need the record to go to Canton. He doesn't.
Selfishly, I feel like people want the record, but it's just, it doesn't matter.
What would you rather have as a fan? To run around with your little thing out? Would you rather have a goddamn rushing record and you're gonna go pump for chest all off season about a rushing record, or would you rather have a Super Bowl?
That's an easy answer.
Because if you would rather have the rushing record, the look at us all off season, then okay, to each their own. But there's guys out here that are in this to win the whole damn thing. And I'm not saying we still can if he plays, because maybe he doesn't get hurt. Or maybe he does. Maybe Lane Johnson gets hurt. Maybe Becton goes down like he did again today. But it's worse.
It's just an unnecessary risk when the game means nothing. You know what I mean? That's the elephant in the room here. Will we love to get the record? Of course. But if someone gets hurt, it's going to look awful.
And we're going to be happy with CJ in a football game up as big as we were today and going down.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He's going to have to get carted off. Where I said to my pops, I'm like, he shouldn't be in the game right now. This is the time where you get your guys out.
Yeah, was he okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But this is the point. Like, Bill says, I don't think they care. Brockler's already said he's here to win the big one, and it's not about individual awards. And when I see him pull the last 2 possessions, that proved it. Every yard would matter. Yeah.
I feel like, and if you feel, the way they played the game today,
because it would have been smarter today to keep him in.
They fed him a ton today, trying to get the record. You know what I mean? Or trying to get 2K at least. They fed him a ton today.
They were trying to get to 2K.
Yeah. Because I feel like they might not.
Because then you can regroup, right? You can regroup at that point.
Maybe we don't need to play them now.
Yeah, that's what my head was.
At that point.
I said to Greg on Thursday. If they get to 2K, they you almost don't need to do anymore.
No, you don't. You're over 2K.
Historic.
Great year. Historic year.
Your cleats go to Canton. Like your uniform goes to Canton. You have a spot in Canton of one of 8 players to do something. Make sense? You guys got where I'm going here?
Yeah.
Like it's remembered. You're remembered. Now, you remember like Eric Dickerson? No, but guess how you become remembered like Eric Dickerson? Guess how you become a folk hero in this city? Guess how you never need to get a job ever again, like after your football career, because you can just go work in the media in this city? Guess where? Win a Super Bowl here and see how your life changes. That's all I'll say. Win a Super Bowl in a top 5 market and watch how your life changes.
I mean, Brandon Graham went from a guy that we thought was a bad pick, shouldn't have taken him, to like he's one of the favorite players in franchise history. Over one huge, the biggest play in our franchise history. Honestly,
that's right.
He'll be remembered forever because of it.
Yeah,
there's no parade for a rushing record. And there was another one that was a little different, but somebody said CJ stole that pick from Q. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, second time I think he's done that to him.
I mean, go for the ball then, Q. I feel like CJ wants to get the ball. If you want the ball, go for the ball.
Yeah. No, I mean, he was going for the ball too. It's just go for the football. So I don't look at it as like he knew good enough to steal it from him anyway. But it looked like that. It looked like a theft. Oh, Mr. Wing, I don't even know that question. Eagles have never gotten to a bowl being a 2-seed or lower. I don't know.
Wait, 2 or 1, you mean? Or which one? Oh,
he probably means 2-seed or
like
higher.
2 or okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
like lower seeded.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, we definitely were the 1 seed the last 2 times that we went, right? So
it probably sounds true.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, most likely.
It's obviously easier to go when you're the 1 seed because you're the best fucking team.
Derek says if Barkley gets a ring, he would be the best Eagles running back ever. So he doesn't need the rushing record. Well, Derek, he might be the best Eagles running back right now, even without the Super Bowl. and we've had a lot of good ones, right? But
I mean, in terms of talent, he's the best, I would say.
it's close.
He just has the most talent.
He does, but Shady did things that were awesome too.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, but there's guys that were great. Shady was great. Westbrook was great.
no, but I'm just saying, like,
but
Shady's a guy who could catch 100 balls.
Wilbur Montgomery was great.
Like, Shady could do things that Saquon doesn't do, vice versa. But like, LaShawn was a way better receiver out of the backfield. Way better.
I don't know if he's way better. Saquon's got good hands. Everyone's going to remember the drop against the Falcons. I get it.
If he had great hands.
But I mean, he's had some great catches on the year.
I know, but McCoy had like 80 catches one year, or like 100 catches. I feel like.
I feel like the one year in the Giants, Saquon had like 80.
He might have. Just my opinion that they both were electric. They're like LaShawn was electric too, just different. They were just different styles.
Yeah, different style. I got you on that. I just think,
both great vision.
In my opinion, the talent, the absolute raw talent, like Saquon is number one in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think when it's all said and done, and you're 3 years into this contract, he's going to be right. I just think after 1 year, it's hard to just jump guys that did it here for a while. But if you go win a ring year one, yeah. But talent-wise, I think he's the best. I don't think that's...
Well, yeah, no, I'm not saying that he's number... Like, I wouldn't put him as the best Eagles running back of all time right now just because he hasn't even played a full year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
talent-wise, I think he's the best.
You win a Super Bowl and change it.
LeBron was the greatest Laker as soon as he signed.
Yeah, that's down the take.
LaShawn's second year, he had 78 catches with 91 targets. His best overall year, he had 52 catches for 540, which was his 2,000-yard combined year. That was with 1,600 yards, 550 rushing yards for 550.
Yeah, he had a great year that year. That was the year where the snow game against Detroit, right? He had a monster game. I'm pretty sure that was that year.
Yeah, it probably was.
He had a monster year that year.
Saquon's rookie year, he had 91 receptions.
There you go.
But that was his high.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah, didn't eclipse 57 above after that.
Well, he hasn't been that healthy. I don't think after that.
Well, 2 years ago, 16 games, 57 catches. Last year, 14 games, 41 catches. This year, 15 games, 31 catches.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't thrown the ball to him a ton this year, but we don't need to. I feel like we throw to Kenny more.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely – you would have thought with the signing he would be used in more screens and stuff like that, and he's just not. They don't run – you're right, Wells. They run more screens and those halfback passes to Kenny.
Yeah.
Than they do Saquon.
Which I'm fine with that,
Which is, it is what it is.
I mean, you get him a little breather on a screen.
Yeah, for sure. Nakobe was out today. Prior to this game, I forget what his injury was. Probably could have played if it was.
Yeah, I think they're just being.
I think that was a lot of guys. I have a feeling Jalen was fine, and probably would have cleared protocol if the game really mattered.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one, Greg. I mean, you could be right, but I'm not sure.
I would hope so, because you don't like the concussions piling up.
Yeah, you don't like him lingering, but I think that he'll be fine for next week. Now, will they play him? I think you got to play him a little bit. I don't want him to be off this long. Like, if he doesn't play this week, that would be a long – that's like 3 weeks off, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
That's another tough one, too,
Well, he'd go into a playoff game with 2 weeks.
2.5 weeks straight.
off.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Throw it away.
Especially because we're going to be playing a good team. Like, I feel like you're going to have to – I feel like I need Jalen to play at least a quarter.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where I was. Everybody plays a half. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Almost like that third preseason game, right? That old third preseason game where everybody that was the warm up, right, for the season.
Yeah, you play like a couple, whatever, until the half, maybe one possession into the third. I wouldn't even do the one possession into the third.
Yeah, no, I agree there.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about him not playing for a couple weeks either.
Yeah,
but
at all.
it also is what it is at this point, and you got to have enough confidence in your franchise quarterback that when the lights turn on, he'll be ready to go. That he's played enough football this year that you can't worry about that part of it when it comes to him. You got to worry about like, hey, I can't have him take another hit in a meaningless game.
No, I'm with you on that.
It's
another one where you're like, I don't know. It's tough to weigh it.
I'll take the rust. You know what I mean? I'll deal with the rust, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the
I don't
one
like
good
it.
thing.
I don't like it, Wells. I agree with you.
I don't like it when we like our one bugaboo is starting slow. Like that's what gets me a little nervous.
Yeah,
but I still think that we're going to be fine, especially for the first playoff game.
All right, just start Tanner in the first quarter, and we'll be good.
Old McKee.
A little 2 QB
QB
system.
factory,
Oh,
QB factory,
QB controversy.
We're in the shirt.
QB controversy.
QB factory.
McKee was slinging though.
Well, he can sling it.
Yeah, a couple nice balls. Granted, guys were running wide open, but not a lot of defense being played by Dallas today.
No.
I did love how they just picked on that one dude the entire time. Oh, wait, you're guarding him today, right now? All right, we're going this way.
We're going right at him.
We're not even going to look the other way.
No starter plays. That's what he said. No starter plays. It's that simple for me.
Yeah, I'm okay. If they did that, I'm okay with that.
Obviously, I'm not going to question it, but I wouldn't feel the greatest.
It's not Jose. It's going to be Washington or Green Bay.
Well, it's not over yet.
Or it could be Tampa Bay.
If Atlanta can score here.
No, Tampa's going to win they're going to win the conference or the division, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm saying, I don't think, what's Tampa's record? I don't think Tampa can Tampa pass them?
No, they're 9-7.
Yeah, I don't think they can pass Washington. Tampa just needs Washington to win this game. Oh, Bijan should have thrown that away.
I know. That's what I yelled.
What are you doing?
You didn't hear me say that?
I didn't know what you were talking about. Yeah.
Well, Washington could lose next week. I don't know who they're playing, but then they would be tied. Did Tampa Bay beat Washington?
No, but Washington, if Washington wins this game, they're 11-5, right?
Oh yeah. If they win, yeah, my bad.
Now, granted, if Washington loses this week, but they're not going to lose to the fucking Giants next week, though.
No.
Oh no, we played the Cowboys. Sorry.
Probably not.
I mean, they did lose to the Cowboys once, actually, I believe. But I would think the way that the Cowboys played today, it seems like some bags were packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, it looked like.
Man, he had him. Penix.
You're early.
Sorry, buddy.
It's all right.
I won't say anything for the next play.
Oh, he did it.
17 of 30, man. And they sure make these quarterbacks just throw the football. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think if Washington wins this game, then there's still a possibility that it's Green Bay. If Washington loses here, I think it's Washington, right?
Yeah.
Oh, now that's a good ball. My bad. Shouldn't have said
no,
but that was a good ball there.
I like to hear a good ball.
Yeah, it's a good ball. Do they go for 2?
Are they getting a touchdown? Jesus.
And of course, it's the Pits. Now he wants to play.
Yeah, now right. What a piece of shit.
Yep, couldn't be any of the guys I need. No.
Why the fuck did I not take Pitts for a touchdown? Oh, I know, because he stinks. That's why.
He freaking stinks.
Yeah, I've had him in fantasy all year. He's hadn't done shit. Surprised he caught that. That was a good ball, though.
That was a rifle.
Yeah, really good ball. Tight window. Don't miss this extra point.
You got it.
Yeah, right down Broadway.
It's not a young ho anymore.
Yeah, what is the young ho hurt?
I think young ho got cut.
No, I think
old
he's hurt.
ho. Is he hurt?
Yeah. I was gonna say, was he that bad that he got cut?
Oh, he was bad.
I mean, he was started the year great, and then he was really bad. I know that. He
was that bad.
I think he's hurt, though. I don't think they cut him. But he could have been. Who knows? He was the best kicker in the league last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you don't cut guys like that. You don't cut guys like that had, like, the guys that were good at some point this year that go through a rut. You don't cut them.
Yeah, you usually you're like, okay, he's hurt. Throw him on IR.
Yeah. We're gonna make up a hammy
Yeah.
because your brain's fucked. You know what I mean?
Broke
We're gonna
his
make up the
foot.
hammy.
Just
We'll
say,
make up the
just say he
hammy.
had a grammatica.
Grammatica.
Well, this
Come
year is
back-
why you draft Michael.
Come back and
Penix.
get him next year.
I had no issue with them drafting Michael Penix. I had an issue with them signing Kirk Cousins. But this is why you draft Michael Penix, because he arguably had the best arm in the whole draft.
Yeah, I still feel like lefty
wouldn't
quarterbacks stink, but he looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Two
I
knee
would never draft
surgeries.
a lefty quarterback.
2 knee surgeries. I wouldn't have drafted him.
No, either would I. But
And he's a lefty.
yeah, exactly. Lefty's terrible. Steve Young, that's it. Mark Brunell, maybe.
Only good guys.
Someone
Two
will say
guys.
Michael Vick. He wasn't that good. Great athlete, not a very good quarterback. Shitty human as well. I read that thing about them killing that dog. It kind of got me a little upset.
Still going back on it.
I read it like yesterday because I guess did he just get a head coaching job?
He
Someone
did.
they were like,
Norfolk-
"Oh, Michael Vick's the coach." Well, remember this? And I was like, "Oh, fuck!
Norfolk
I
State.
gotta
Yeah.
read this fucking thing again."
Yeah, Norfolk State doesn't care. That's where he was locked up at.
Nope.
I don't understand.
Have
What's-
fun, Ed.
Are they just
That's all.
are they just hiring guys that used to be football players to be coaches now? Like
Yeah.
Michael Vick hasn't coached. Deshaun Jackson hasn't coached. How are these guys getting head coaching jobs?
I think Deshaun coached high school.
Oh, okay, all right.
But
At least
that's
he coached
but
something.
I was with you when I heard the Deshaun one. Michael Vick in Norfolk State, he's from the area, right? So
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer to hire him for them. The Deshaun one caught me off guard because I didn't anticipate he had any aspirations to coach, but then I was reading he was coaching at the high school level. Now, maybe just an OC type of stuff, but
Yeah.
But again, for Delaware
Yeah.
State, there's no better person to do than to get somebody like that.
That's true. Delaware State, that D2, I guess. Is
Yeah,
it
we're
FCS or
1AA.
D2?
I think
No,
it's,
they're
FCS?
I think it's FCS.
Okay.
No, they're in the same like Jackson State type.
Yeah.
So
That's
FCS.
one, yeah,
then,
FCS.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know. I mean, I guess you could kind of get good, but there's 3 teams in the FCS that are awesome every year. And they just don't, it's either North Dakota State, South Dakota State, or the other one that's out there that are in the final every year, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, the Colonial, that's all regular. Yeah,
And
they're
The D3 school is like Mount Union. That's always really good.
yeah.
They're always awesome. Don't want to play the Mount Union team.
Yeah, they're in a conference with like South Carolina State, North Carolina Central, Morgan State, Norfolk State, Howard, Delaware State.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
HBCU. It's the HBCU
Yeah.
conference. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, which those two guys will obviously, they're looking for Jackson State type stuff.
Yeah.
With those two guys, that
Yep.
same type of, they're gonna get kids to go play there. They just
Yeah,
will.
that's what they're hoping. Yeah.
They will. I mean, kids are gonna go play somewhere where Michael Vick is there, even though he never watched tape himself. So great guy to be the head coach, but we say it all the time. Those guys are more CEOs. So it's about
Yeah,
It's
probably
about-
get good coaches
Yeah.
on the staff, and then you
It's
just
about
kind
what
of
you
run
around
the
you.
program. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why Dion's great because he goes, he brings Warren Sapp in. He goes, that's why they got better this year, right? Because he brought in like some NFL guys.
Yeah, I
Some
would have liked
guys-
to seen them play pretty well
Yeah,
yesterday.
well, I know that was going to go there, but I'm not doing that right
Motherfuckers.
now because I don't care
Yeah.
enough. But
Oh,
my
I
point
did.
was making like these guys are more just figureheads.
I
than
felt
they
like
are,
after they played like
anything
shit
else.
yesterday, I made bad decisions.
Oh, you definitely made some bad decisions yesterday.
It was I had a rough day.
Bill says he thinks we're going to get 3 home games on the way to the Super Bowl. Washington, Vikings, and Green Bay. First off, that is a gauntlet. You know what I mean? Like that's a gauntlet run to the Super Bowl right there.
So wait, you think Green Bay in the title game, Bill? That's what you're saying?
That's what he's saying.
No, I don't. I don't know about that. I think the Vikings are going to get the 1 seed.
By the way, that's an onions throw right there.
Oh yeah, big boy throw there for sure. I like the Vikings a lot. I think they're good. Honestly, I would rather the Lions get the 1 seed than the Vikings because I think the Vikings are dangerous at home. Their defense is really good at home for some reason. Not as great on the road, really good at home.
Yeah, Brian Flores has those guys flying all over the football.
They're all over the fucking field. And Detroit's got so many injuries. I feel like they're more beatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want that clown. Give me Dan Campbell on his nut sack.
That would be a tough game, though. They are built like us. A lot of injuries, though, but they're built just like us. Strong on the lines. Run the shit out of the ball.
We are not going to get the 1 seed, EC1. That is
no, we can't. We literally cannot get the 1 seed.
Officially over with.
We are stuck in the 2 spot, and we can't get anything other than the 2. That's why the game next week does not matter at all. Has no matter at all.
Full circle.
Yep.
If you're just tuning in.
I think, because whatever, as long, I think.
Don, give me every bit of that smoke, Don. Every bit of that smoke.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that next week's game between Detroit and Minnesota is going to be a banger of a game. I'm sure that's going to be the Sunday night game. Obviously, they haven't announced that yet, but I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Collinsworth is already pining for it.
Oh,
he dropped that ball?
Zacchaeus, you bum.
He dropped that wide open.
Yes,
right?
he did. Right through his hands. Catch it with your hands,
Zacchaeus.
dude. Somebody's laughing like a hyena out there. The fuck was that? Thought I was in the Lion King for a second.
Can you feel
love tonight? That's a good play there. This has been a pretty good game, actually. Now if he can go get a field goal here in 40 seconds, there's a big boy drive here.
Oh, they punt it?
Yeah, they punted.
Wonderful.
Playoff probability for the Falcons, 79% with a win, 15% with a loss. So you're saying there's a chance. Bucks are probably big fans of the Commanders getting a stop here.
Yeah.
Bucks are dangerous. Honestly, would be completely fine with Atlanta making the playoffs. I don't want to see the Bucks. The Bucks are dangerous. Might be the team I'm most afraid of in the NFC because they fucking own us.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think we've beat them since Rondé Barber's pick.
Yeah, but it would be here, right? We don't have to travel to the House of Horrors, in Tampa. It would be in Philly.
Yeah, I still, that team scares me, and they're playing good ball right now. And Baker's
they are, but they just laid a dud last week, so we know that dud's in there. And we got to remember, we're playing really damn good. And I know it's not, everyone's not going to, count it the same because it was just the Cowboys, but we dominated that game. As we should have, but we did.
What is Atlanta doing? You get the first down, you have 2 timeouts, use the one, slow yourself down. You have 1 more left, and now you have 12 seconds left. You're morons with 2 timeouts. That worked out well.
At the end of the half.
Yeah, I don't know what. There's been a lot of very, very, very bad clock management this week.
Minnesota did the same thing in their game at the end of the half.
On Thursday night's game, I don't think there's ever been worse clock management I've ever seen in my life than by the Bears. Also, maybe the worst game ever in the history of the NFL.
Oh my God!
Whoever their coach is right now, the interim coach, I don't even know his name. Thomas something, I think. Whoever it is, though, he should have been fired on the field. If I was the owner, I'd have walked down and fired him because you can't. The worst clock management I've ever seen in my life. Shockingly embarrassing.
Yeah, it's like these guys don't realize when to use a timeout and when not to use a timeout in these quick end of half or end of game situations.
And sweeps boy Mike McDaniel today. Wow.
Stop where I've heard that before, John. You know what I mean? I've heard the cold in Tampa.
Yeah, they've definitely beaten us before.
It didn't matter. So.
Yeah, John. The only problem with that is, like I said, the only reason that I think that we're a better team and we should beat them, but they own us. They absolutely own us. They I think every time that Jalen's been our quarterback that we've played them, they've killed us. And we play awful against them every time. Killed us in the playoffs last year, killed us in the regular season this year, killed us 2 years ago. They always kill us. They fucking always kill us. And you know they're going to blitz heavy. And they stop the run. That's the only reason I don't like them. They stop the run and they blitz heavy. And I like Baker. Baker's got moxie.
Yeah, he does.
But we should, like I said, if we were to play them,
Feels good being right.
first off, if we were to play them, it means that they upset somebody already. Well, I guess they would be the 3 seed, but they'll probably be underdog, right? Or no, they would be the 4 seed. Oh yeah, they'll be an underdog for sure. Because if we had to play them, that means that they would have beat either Minnesota or Detroit.
Yeah,
and they'll definitely be an underdog in that game.
Yeah, listen, Keys, I totally get what you're saying. Free play. Oh, why would you blow it dead? You fucking losers. Why would you? Oh my God.
Yeah, Keys, I'm with you too, Keys. That's why I almost feel like I'd like Jalen to play a little bit next week. I know Tom's of the other opinion, but I feel like I need him to get out there.
It's listen, when I talk about guys that are franchise guys, like he'll be missing 3 games, right? So it's not even a month, right? We're not even talking about like missing over a month. Just let me finish here. I know what you're saying. It's not even over a
You
month.
saw the look on my face there?
Yeah, but it's not like it's 3 weeks of football. Like he's played an entire season. So like the speed of the game isn't an issue for me. If he missed the last 6 weeks, then yes, I need to get him out there. Right. But missing 3 weeks, or 2 as of right now. Oh my God, he got that off?
They called a hold too.
God. Wow.
Yeah, they only called a hold though, so it's only gonna be a 5-yarder. They try a long field goal here.
Oh no,
They can't get the pass interference.
Brandon Aubrey's would have been good from 80 today.
Yeah, first off, who was calling the game today? The same idiots we had last week, right?
Joe Davis and Greg Olson.
Yeah.
I always liked Greg Olson, but man, I don't know what the hell they were talking about today. When he hit the upright with that field goal, they were like, that would have been the most exciting thing today. It's like we had a guy go for 2,000 yards today, guys. It's definitely more exciting than a fucking field goal. Thanks.
Yeah, they've definitely struggle bus. Joe should stick to baseball. That's where he's obviously
calling Kike Hernandez the greatest playoff hitter of our generation.
Oh, do you think he hits this? What do you think? Quick decision. 56-yarder.
God, no. But he's going to bury it because I have
miss it.
A shit ton of money on our Commanders. So
he's gonna miss it.
I got the Falcons, so I could really use this kick.
He's going. Oh, there's Young Ho. Yeah, he definitely didn't get. He definitely didn't.
This is buried, knowing how my day's going.
Riley Patterson. He's gonna miss the fuck out of this, dude.
Isn't he a country singer?
I think he used to be the Lions kicker.
Young Ho's like a mixed reactions here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He probably part of him wants him to miss it.
That's it. Young Ho's clapping.
Was it even close?
Oh,
it was way short. It was 5 yards short. What the hell happened there, Riley? I thought it was good off the foot because it was dead center, but it was
clapping. He was clapping too.
He was clapping. He was clapping up. He's like, all right, my job's good. Probably a good. Yeah, it was a good 5 yards short, probably at least 3.
It was one of those. He kicked it way too high.
Somebody was in the end zone. They could have caught it and tried to run it back.
Yeah. Iron Bowl style.
Yeah, that's when you need you need Devin Hester or like Ed Reed. What a fucking pimp Ed Reed was. Ed Reed would have went to the house with that. No doubt in my mind. Ed Reed goes to the house with that.
Well, he just didn't manage the end of that game right.
No,
but the thing about Jalen is like this is where I don't want this to happen. Okay. There is no excuses to not be ready to play. So I don't give a fuck if you didn't play in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
There you go, Greg. Commanders won the toss.
This is a Super Bowl or bust year. The Super Bowl bust regardless. And I don't want to hear excuses about it. I don't want to hear excuses about like concussion lingering or any dumb shit that people in this chat might be able to make up. Like this is
and there's some dumb shit.
This is boomer bust type shit here.
I know. Let's be honest. A lot is going to be on Jalen's shoulders because if you look at our team, anyone that's coming in, what are they going to say? We got to stop Saquon. We got to stop Saquon. We got to stop Saquon. So, they're going to be putting a lot in the box. It's going to be a lot on Jalen's shoulders here.
We're smart enough,
we need him to play well.
And we're smart enough guys to be like, I don't believe that you can just put any rando into this offense and it's going to be as good as it was all year.
No.
Okay.
Really?
Like, I don't believe like, oh, you put Tanner McKee in and we're going to be as good of an offense overall. No, I don't believe you put Kenny Pickett in, we're going to be as good overall. We would still be good. We just want to be.
Well, we would still be really good. We're not. Our running game will always not be as good because of the Jalen factor.
Because of the Jalen factor.
Yes.
So that being said, like, I don't want to hear like, oh, like, should just, I don't want a QB controversy here.
There is none.
There is none. All right. So he's got to go play well because there isn't another guy up. There isn't another guy who could take over for him. There isn't any of that. Now, if they know, listen, I would say a player knows himself the best at this point of their career, and coaches know their players the best, and great ones know their players. I thought Andy always had a pulse on his guys. I feel like Nick has a pulse on his.
Yep.
Right. Especially as he's grown into the role now in his junior year of being an NFL head coach. It slows down for you. The role slows down for you. The learning of guys you've been with now for 3 years. You learn your personnel better. You learn what makes guys tick better. All kinds of things that go in from coaching the same guys that help you as a coach, for sure. Right? That's why in the travel ball world, I'm a big believer of staying with guys because I think it helps you win. Because if you know your guys better and better, like, hey, this guy's a great starter. This guy's a great reliever. This guy's a Saturday arm. This guy's a son. You just get to know your players. But in this situation, like that all being said, I'm saying that to say if they play him, that's because they feel like that's what's best for him.
Yeah, or like he might ask him. He might say, hey, I want to get some reps.
I want to get a quarter.
Yeah.
Like, I need a quarter, guys. Even if that's in the fourth. Like, I don't care when it is.
And let's be real.
Quarter of football.
And let's be real. Something we've said about Jalen a lot over his career. Jalen's played a lot of big-time football, right? So it's not like the moment is going to be too big for him.
Yeah.
Right? So he's done this, and he even played a lot of big-time football, not playing for a while and coming in and having to jump into a role, right, into a big spot. He's done it. Now, obviously, the NFL is a lot bigger stage, but he still has done it before at any point in his career, and even here in the NFL so far. So that I'm not worried about.
He played well in the Super Bowl that he was in. I mean, that's a fact.
He sure did.
Yeah, it's a guy who's been to the Super Bowl. He's been to the playoffs now. Going to be his third time. I mean, it's nothing, or his fourth time. So it's nothing new. Bill, I thought Elliott looked good today.
You know why he looked good? Do you know why he looked good?
Did you bet a missed field goal?
No, because he was kicking kickoffs.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was back kicking kickoffs.
Why do you think he didn't look good today, Bill? He hit everything down the middle.
Yeah, I was going to say,
what are you talking about? Yeah, I
probably his best day of the season.
I thought
he
you were talking. I thought
he was
being facetious. Yeah.
No, he's not.
That's just Bill.
Yeah.
I just thought today he was good.
He was dead in the middle every time.
That's what I said.
He actually had a good day today. Yeah.
If there was a day not to complain about him, today was. Like, I think
he was kicking the ball through the end zone, which for some reason last week when the other guy was kicking off, he couldn't. How many times did Washington start fucking midfield last week?
Yeah.
We just kept kicking. Stop kicking the fucking McCaffrey.
He barely put one in. What are you talking about, Bill?
Barely put one in.
Like,
oh, he didn't miss any.
We nitpicking one kick in a 41-7 game?
I mean, he didn't miss any kicks today.
He didn't miss any.
Yeah, I would say it was.
They all went in. They all counted, right, Bill?
I think it was one. I think it was one extra point that he almost missed.
It's like a shooter, Bill.
Okay,
but it went in.
If he starts making them, the confidence comes back.
So he hit a couple. So he hit a rim or two. Like, big deal. Yeah, he's 2 for 2 and 5 for 5 at extra points. I mean, what else do we need?
He missed that one. He essentially made 7 kicks. And you're telling us this would be something to be worried about. So he made fucking 7 kicks, Bill. And today's the day you're worried about him.
I think you missed that one, Bill, because he didn't miss anything.
Yeah, like he missed that one. Hey, Bill, that was you.
Yeah, the only one that missed anything was you. That's it. Wasn't Jake. Still love you, Bill.
Umberto says, Q had some struggles the last couple weeks. We worried he hit the rookie wall heading into the postseason. No, I'm not.
No, guys are just throwing at him.
Nope.
I just think that in this league, you get beat at times too.
Yeah, you get beat.
I think he's been awesome all year. So
yeah, he's had a great year. He's had an absolutely great year.
And even when he gets beat, he's still good.
It's designed for the offense to play well.
He's still good.
Yeah, he's very good.
Even when he gets beat, sometimes it's like he didn't get bad. He's just not like he's not Revis yet.
I think guys have been thrown at him more the last couple of weeks too. And early on, guys weren't thrown at him at all.
No, and he's just not. He's not like I said. He's not Darrelle Revis yet. He's not Deion Sanders yet. Like I mean, he's a rookie who's had a sensational rookie season. You know what I mean? That's what he's had, and you got to come duplicate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he duplicates the year he's having this year in terms of like shutting guys down, which the numbers say he has, right? Then you start talking islands and you start talking all the fun stuff. He's just you're a year away from that.
But no, listen,
he's been awesome.
He's definitely to Umberto's point though. It's the most football he's ever played. Once we get to this point in the season, so yeah, there's probably I feel like all rookies kind of hit a little wall once you get up to like 14 games because they've never played that many games before in their life. Obviously, high school, college, you play like 10 to 12. So yeah, I mean he could be another reason to maybe have him give him the week off next week. But he's been great though. I have no issues with Quignon. I'm fully trusted in him to be our top corner. I think he's going to be great in the playoffs.
Yeah, and like last week, the whole defense didn't play well as a whole, right? But you would expect a good offensive mind in Cliff Kingsbury, and then going up against Terry McLaurin, you're not going to own him twice in a year, right? Terry McLaurin's too good to let what happened the first time we played them happen again, right? And Jaden Daniels has proven so far this year he's very good to, again, not let what happened the first time happen again the second time you play him. So I don't necessarily feel like, where there's a whole lot of blame last week. And this week, yeah, he gave up one, but he was locked down everything else.
Yeah, that was kind of a fluke one. Tolbert got open behind him.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, if you look at it, the other ones, like the last, I think Cooper Kupp caught one on him, but he was all over him. It was a good ball and a good catch. He boxed him out kind of, but Quignon was all over him. And then the one against McLaurin, I mean, McLaurin made a good catch on that one too. So yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about Quignon at all.
Bill, last thing I'm going to say, because it's a fucking kicker again. You said dude barely made, so he made it. He hasn't missed an extra point all year. So at that point, I'm not nervous about Jake at all. You want to talk about over 50? Then yeah, we could talk about over 50. But I think getting him back on kickoffs, keeping his leg warm, and keeping him active in the game, if that is what's going to happen going forward, unless we go back to Brandon Mann again next week, that's more important to me.
We should not. Yeah, I know we're giving you some gruff here, Bill, but just as long as he's making kicks, I don't give a fuck if they bounce off both uprights and in.
Yeah,
just make them.
Hit them all as long as they go in.
Washington down to the 12.
Come on, give me a touchdown to walk it off here. Come on, one.
No.
Who would you like to score it, Greg?
Give me McLaurin. Give me Robinson. I need one of those two.
Okay.
Preferably Robinson because I have him also in fantasy.
I wouldn't mind Jaden Daniels running it in. I'm not gonna lie.
I only have Daniels in a parlay, so it doesn't help me any. I didn't bet it straight.
What would be the best thing for me is if they settle for a field goal and then Darnell Mooney caught a touchdown for Atlanta. Oh, Daniels just ran for a oh man, this guy's got like the mega helmet on. Jesus, is that a double? That one's bigger. It's big. I think that one's bigger than like the. That one is Jesus Christ. This guy got this tackle right here. Number 40.
Cover they put over it is ridiculous.
Oh my God, it's like Lord Helmet.
It's a big guy.
How many assholes I got on the ship anyway? I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
That's so great.
A great film. Spaceballs. What a movie.
Classic.
We're in now. Everything you see now is now. He's going to run it in, dude. Oh, nice tackle. That's how you tackle. Where's 24? That's how you tackle.
Oh, that's what a guy had the jersey on earlier. Oh, it wasn't 24. Got it.
No, yeah. I was saying 24. That's how you tackle. 24 had a terrible tackle attempt earlier on Chris Rodriguez. Why he's getting the ball from the 1 yard line, I'd like to know. Strictly to fucking bury all of us that bet Brian Robinson to score.
And who have him in fantasy.
Yep.
HAM says, "What up, fam?
What up?
He said, "Look up. I took my nephew to his first Eagles game as a Christmas gift. Fantastic day, gents. Anytime we beat Dallas, it's a beautiful day, and he had a beautiful day.
Oh, gorgeous.
Weather-wise, you know what I mean. Weather-wise, it was delicious. So
yeah, and like you said, there is nothing
December
better
game.
than stomping the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, no matter how you do it,
just nothing better.
No matter how you do it. Oh, you can't let him get in there.
No, they didn't. But 3rd and goal from the 2, though, maybe the 1.5.
He got popped.
There's
no way he gets hit like this his whole career. And
another awful job of tackling by 24, though. Awful. Yeah. What is he doing? Terrell, what? Look at him. What are you doing? Thank God 31 came in and saved the day because he was going to score.
You're like, what are you going? Like, what kind of tackling?
What are you doing?
That might be the worst tackling ever.
That is embarrassing.
He scores there if he doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Other guy 31 doesn't come up. He scores because Terrell's just grabbing that air. What are you doing?
It's the only problem with him running like that. That's a shot that, that's a shot that
I mean, I like him a lot. I like him a lot, but he's if I was a Washington fan, I mean, you can't tell him to slow down. That's his game, but he's not big enough to be taking those kind of hits. You know what I mean? Like Lamar is a lot bigger than him.
Lamar's
like Cam a lot bigger than him, and Cam broke down at the end because of all the hits he took. Like he's just not. I don't know. I'm gonna need if I'm a Washington fan, which I'm not, so I don't really care if he gets hit hard. But I would need him to. I would need him to not run as much because you need him to stay healthy.
No, I mean that's a shot right to the ribs.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Need the flak jacket for that one.
Oh,
3rd and goal from the 2. Question is, is this 2 down territory here?
Well, don't tell us what happens.
I won't say a word.
Should be.
I don't think it's 2 down territory when you have a chance to take the lead and you're in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Touchdown doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ertz.
Oh, fuck. How many catches did he have, by the way?
I don't know. That's his 2nd TD, though. He had to. I was gonna say he had to have at least 4 or 5.
Wait, that
he might have dropped that, Tommy. Oh no, he didn't. What a catch!
Oh my God. If that's his 6th, I missed out on $300 by 1 catch and 3 yards.
Oh no, it did not. Oh no, I think it's good.
I hope it's not.
I hope it's not either because I'm going to go toast. I'm going to have a toaster bath here.
No, I think it's good. Sorry, buddy.
6 catches. I had him over 5.5. That would have. Oh my God.
It's good.
Oh, it's good.
It's good.
Good catch by Ertz there. Penix played well though.
Toaster bath time.
So this keeps the chance of us playing Green Bay alive. This keeps Washington's chance at the 6th seed alive.
Yeah. So
obviously, if you're Washington, I think they probably want they don't want to play us. They'd probably want the 6th seed. 6th seed.
No, Bill, it's not how it goes, Bill. It's not how it goes. We're not gonna get Washington now.
Yeah, we might not.
They'll either be in the 6. If they
win and Green Bay loses, right? Well, Green Bay's not going to lose to Chicago.
Green Bay has. Hold on.
They have the same record, right?
I think they do.
I think they might jump to the 6th now.
That's the whole point. That's the whole problem here.
How many NFC losses does Green Bay have? Because that's what it goes to first.
Green Bay, both 11-5. In the conference, they are 6-5.
Okay, so all 5 of their losses are in the conference. Does Washington have one to an AFC team?
Does Washington have what?
Did they have a loss to an AFC team? Washington.
Well, in conference, they're 7-3.
Yeah, so Washington is the 6th seed currently then.
Correct.
They hold the tiebreaker over Green Bay because they have a better conference record.
Correct. So
yeah, because Washington lost to Baltimore. And they might have lost to Cleveland, honestly. Because they beat Cincy in that crazy high-scoring game.
Like that's their conference, right? When you go in conference.
Yeah, that's what it goes by. It goes by conference record.
Where
That's
Green
why we
Bay's-
don't have. That's why we don't have we lose out head to head to Minnesota and Detroit because we have they have AFC loss, we don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they only have both of them lost to Buffalo, I think. So they don't have as many conference losses.
Probably who you want to play. Because if anything, like Washington's like weirdly dangerous because of him.
Oh, very dangerous. I totally agree.
His legs just create a problem. To me. It worries me a little bit, his legs.
I think that we're better than Washington and we would beat them.
Me too.
Like, I still think that we beat Green Bay too. Green Bay just is because that their power run game gets me a little nervous.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they run the ball really well with Jacobs. That would get that they could just run it. If they ran the ball well against us, they could keep our offense off the field. Like, make the game quicker, tighten it. I don't know. I think that we're better than both teams, but I think I'd rather play Washington just because I don't. Especially since we lost to him last week, I don't think there's any shot we would lose again to him.
No, that's where I agree with you. It stinks because
if we had beat them last week, I'd say, but then we'd probably be the 1 seed. But I'd be like, I don't know.
I don't want Dallas to. Dallas is not going to beat them.
No,
you would think so.
I mean, they could, but I doubt it.
That game's in Dallas.
Dallas already beat them in Washington, I think.
Yeah, so that game's in Dallas. Better chance of Dallas showing up
at home,
for a final home game than going on the road. I think guys pack their bags more for that road game than they do at home.
I think you're correct, but again, the way they played today, and there's no CD, I mean, it might be tough.
Listen, extremely tough, but we're hoping.
Yeah.
We want Washington. If you're a guy, if you're in Green Bay camp, some people might want Green Bay, right? But if you're in the Green Bay camp, that's what you're rooting for. I prefer Washington. Just because, like Will said, I don't think they would beat us again. He's dangerous as shit, which worries me.
Yeah,
Love not going to run as much.
Yeah, and they're not as great as a running team, the Redskins or Commanders. Sorry, I feel like we match up better against them than Green Bay strictly because of the run games. You know what I mean? Like I'm not worried about Brian Robinson. I'm more worried about Jaden running, obviously, honestly.
Yeah,
if we're playing them.
I agree.
Yeah, Green Bay has a good coach. Love won a game on the road in the playoffs last year. Like Green Bay's a tough. Either one of them is going to be a tough matchup. Listen, they're both probably going to have 12 wins. Because they're both probably going to win next week, I would assume. So they're both probably going to have 12 wins. How often do you see a 7 seed with 12 wins? You never do. It's crazy. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup. We're probably only going to be about a 4 or 5 point favorite, which is almost unheard of in a 2-7 matchup.
No, you're right. You're right. It's no matter which way you slice it.
Yeah.
Somebody's good's coming to town, and
going to have to win.
You gotta be ready to play, and that's why I'm so hung up on giving guys a week off, letting guys breathe a little bit.
What a great drive for Jaden Daniels there. 5 for 5, 32 yards on a touchdown, 6 carries, 40 yards on that last drive.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, great drive. Ertz did have 6 catches too, Greg. Fuck.
What do you have? The over?
He had over 5.5 in that one. I think he lost a different part of the parlay.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not ideal. I feel for old Gregor there.
I can't believe he caught that ball too.
Yeah, that was a good catch. Old Zach Ertz. He's been playing better recently. Of course, last week did nothing against you, and he would have had a great day for me this week. Motherfucker. That might have won me the leg right there.
Yeah, EC won. I don't think we're scared. I'm not scared of anybody. I made that clear numerous times.
Yeah, not scared.
We're
just trying to break down the matchups, I feel.
Yeah, just telling you, I think everybody's tough. You're not getting a cupcake.
Yeah, there's no cupcake coming in.
Is the point. That's
there ain't no 9-8 team coming in. It's going to be a 12-win team coming in. It's going to be a good fucking team.
And there's no next week for someone to look past too, right? Like during the week, you can have your team that you're playing, but then you're also looking forward sometimes to the next week, right? There is no next week. So your focus is all on this game.
Mm-hmm.
So Washington is they clinched the playoff berth, and they're currently the 6th seed, like we said. Yeah. And I think everything else is locked. Like Tampa and Atlanta. If Tampa loses and Atlanta wins, they have a shot. But Tampa's not going to. I think Tampa plays the Saints. They're going to fucking kill the Saints. So Tampa's probably going to win the division, which means it would be Minnesota 1, us 2, Rams 3, Tampa 4, or Minnesota or Detroit 1, Minnesota or Detroit 5, and then Washington 6, Green Bay 7. Yeah, honestly, I want Detroit to be the 1 seed. I hope Detroit beats Minnesota next week. Is that in Detroit, Greg? Do you know?
I believe.
I think it is. I think
check.
it is. Yeah.
I
think Detroit won in Minnesota by a field goal earlier this year. Oh. He's for
it's in Detroit. At Detroit.
Someone is proposing here for I don't know who that is. Reeves. Yeah, so you would think that Detroit would win at home, but that's going to be a battle.
But yeah, I mean, they, unlike most other teams, like they're both dome teams, right? So there's no one team's coming from outside to play inside, vice versa,
true.
right? They're both dome teams. So
I think I think home field matters more to Minnesota because of how good they play at home. That's why I want Detroit to win.
Yeah, I don't disagree there.
And like we've been saying, I mean, Detroit
it's weird too because
Detroit's good, but Detroit's banged up bad.
Because you look at that defense, there's no like real names on that defense. I mean, yes, Stephon Gilmore, but he's older than dirt.
A bunch of them are old now. Harrison Smith's old.
Harrison Smith's older than dirt. Yeah, like
they got a couple young guys. They got some young guys on the lines that get after you.
But they're good.
Yeah, Minnesota has a very good defense, and they stop the run a ton.
Yeah,
they only let up like 30 yards rushing a game at home, which is crazy. That's why you don't want to play them at home.
Right.
You're telling me Minnesota's got to come here? I love it.
Yeah, Minnesota does well here.
I still remember that morning, that NFC Championship morning, like it was yesterday. Everyone was like, "Man, I don't think I'm nervous, Minnesota." I woke up that day like there is no shot that Case Keenum is going to beat us. I knew it. I said, "There's no fucking chance that he's going to beat us, and we're going to steamroll them." It might have been the most right I've ever been about a game in my life.
And that was a period of time, if you remember,
that we were nervous the whole week. Remember?
Well, no, not even that. Like, yeah, we were. To that, yeah. But it was a time where we would beat the elite QBs.
Yes,
and if we played Joe Schmo looks like Montana.
Would light us up.
Joe Webb on a Tuesday.
Yeah, is that Brady? Yeah, Joe Webb on a Tuesday looks like Brady.
Joe Webb, who turned into a receiver. He was so bad at quarterback, they turned him to a receiver. He beat us on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's right. We did play on a Tuesday because of COVID.
No, it was because the snow like collapsed their roof.
Oh yeah.
It was way before
the
COVID.
Tuesday game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was way before
it was a decade ago at least.
Yeah. It wasn't even on our radar. A2D wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah, no, I think McNabb was still our QB. It had to be years ago. 08, 09 maybe?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Long time ago. But either way, Joe Webb fucking beat us on a Tuesday. A guy who turned into a receiver because he couldn't throw the football.
Because he couldn't throw the football anymore.
Beat us on a Tuesday.
Tavares Jackson beat us, as JM said.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. There's a laundry list.
There is a list.
There is a list.
There is a list.
No, it's a weird show because we don't have a lot to like dissect for the next week.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a game that
Sixers are playing better.
Well, that's where I was gonna go. To those who wanna enjoy some,
10-9-8.
Getting back in. Like I'm here to get hurt again. And I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? I'm on board with that.
They are playing better. That's a good thing.
But let me ask you this.
And road trip coming up too, right?
Yeah, we're
starting
on it.
tomorrow.
No,
Yeah.
it started last
Or
night.
started last night. Yeah.
I love that because I think we might. Do we go west?
Yeah,
We
well,
are
that's
west.
where we are.
Yeah, I love it. Give me some late games.
We're in Portland tomorrow night.
Oh, was that 10 o'clock start?
It
I
is.
believe so.
I
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Last night, you didn't know last night, was it? Last night we were.
I told you after Colorado didn't show
Wilson's
up.
white.
my
Wilson's night went to shit last
my
night.
brain shut off after Colorado didn't show up last night. So anything that happened after that doesn't count. That's where I'm at.
And there was decisions and things done that
Yeah, I have some women that are unhappy with me at the moment. That's all right. You make decisions, you live with them. That's fine. We'll be okay. We'll be all right, Greg.
play on, player.
I told you my brain shut off. Colorado, it's Dion's fault. I should fucking forward the text I've been getting all day to Dion.
He does good playing the PR role. Maybe he can PR you for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna need him to. I need him to. We need him to throw them gold glasses on, make a video for me.
What did you respond with today?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Oh, we're just like let the storm settle kind of deal thing.
What does that even mean? Let the storm settle. Like
I just said, sorry if I put you in a bad spot.
so which one?
Both.
Wait, so you gave hold the fuck. You gave both the same response?
Yep.
Okay.
One hasn't responded back. The
Which
other did respond back.
Which one of you did not respond back?
The newer
Yes.
girl.
Yes, that would make sense.
Yeah. I'm assuming that she'll never talk to me again. We'll see.
Yeah.
Your reviews are going to go well.
I'm going to find out tomorrow because I work with both of them. So yes, don't shit where you eat, people. Brian Wilson had a hell of a day last night, and yeah, he's in trouble. Bit of trouble.
Really, was shitting where he ate.
Yeah, don't do that. Twice. Did it twice. Shit where I ate, and then shit where I ate.
What would the other one stop by and say after that?
Oh, I'm a piece of shit. Hates me. A lot of things. She'll get over it. Win some, you lose some.
I don't mean to be laughing at your expense, but this
No,
is
it's
hilarious.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine with it. It's cool. I mean, listen. Was it a piece of shit move by me? It could have been.
What do you mean could have been?
I've had better moves. That's for sure.
It probably was a semi piece of shit move.
Yes, it was. I'm hand up. Piece of shit move. I was very drunk. Dion. It's Dion's fault.
I'm a bird.
I still think I was. My response to the one was going to be. My response to the one was going to be. I think she kissed me. But I was like, I'm not even sure if that's true, so I don't know if I can say that.
You go check the tape. Call up the Highland.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call the bar up. Check tape.
Yeah, you got tapes. Can I check your tapes, please?
I've had better nights. We'll just leave it at that. The storm will blow over, Tom. We'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Storm will blow over.
Storm will blow over.
This storm might be sitting.
Yeah. The fact that I work with both of them is that's the number. That's the one that's real like, okay.
Yeah,
you might be in trouble.
This tornado coming in there.
Yeah. Both are technically my superiors as well.
Yeah. Great job by you. Great job.
Yes.
Great job.
Yes.
Can't wait for that sit down.
I'm just hoping.
Can't wait for that at year-end review.
Here's where I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that they're going to focus all their hate on each other. That's where I'm at. I'll be on the side. I don't know if that's going to happen though.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think so either.
No.
I think I'm going to be the one that's getting a lot of the blame.
You know what I would do? You want my honest to God's opinion? What I would do here is say I think you two set me up.
Oh, that could go one or two ways.
Oh, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You got nothing to lose. Let it go. Let it fly.
You're
Let
right.
it fly. So I'm tired of being the victim here. I'm tired of being the victim.
I feel like
2024, Wells. 2024, the male can be the victim too.
You're right.
All right.
You're right. That's true.
It's time for you.
We want equality, don't we?
We do, and it's time.
We want equality.
You know what? I had a lot to drink after Dion, and I didn't even know what was going on. I think you two took advantage of me. And now I feel a certain type of way that I'm in the middle of this.
Yeah. I
really like you. I really like you. I didn't want this. That's what he said. Come on, I'm here for it. I
might need you to just
text that over.
Just throw a little something together for me.
Yeah. I'll chat
throw it in the notes app, send it by.
I'll chat GPT it.
Yeah. If it's good, I'll Venmo you.
If it works, you're in.
How's it not?
It could become a new gig.
Yeah, how's it not work?
Think
about it. Think about it. They're friends.
I feel like it's not a terrible idea.
No, you two said.
I'm not sure if they're still friends. They were friends.
Well, that's where you.
I think they'll be fine.
I think that's where you use it against those two. You two are friends.
Yeah, I'm no prize. They'll be fighting over me.
But I would use it. I would say, listen, I think you two set me up here. I was intoxicated. I was out of it. I had no clue what was going on. I was half blacked out. Not even sure how I got home.
I was catching it from all angles this morning. Bartender texted me, called me a whore. I was getting all kinds of shit.
With the bartenders getting involved?
Oh, I just know her well, so she was doing it jokingly, but still, that's the first text I got this morning was from the bartender being like, "You whore."
Find a little hospital bracelet.
What are you gonna do? Oh yeah.
Look a little.
I had a rough one.
It's great.
Disheveled's a good word. I was a little disheveled last night. That's a good way to put it.
Oh. All right. So yeah, Sixers looking good.
Yeah.
Up into they're half a game out of the play-in now. So they're definitely climbing the ladder here.
The Flyers lost that fucking game.
If they're playing, really good basketball.
Did they play today?
They're playing.
They just
tonight.
lost to the Kings. They're up 4-3 going into the third. I was watching the overtime. I came back. They lost 5-4.
Did they go to OT or not?
Ante Kopitar?
Did they go to OT?
Kopitar's still in the league?
Yeah, Ante's old. He's old.
He's got to be my age.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
Did they go to the
No,
Flyers?
didn't even go to overtime. Just lost in the third. Yeah.
Not shocking.
I was watching the football overtime.
Not shocking. They lost a one-score game again, a one-goal game.
I mean, our biggest issue here is that we just cannot save the puck.
No,
we don't play great defense, and we can't save the puck.
It's been the issue for a decade.
Yeah, the Carter Hart thing is really
not ideal.
Really digging it into
really
us right
biting
now.
us in the ass.
Not ideal that we had a rapist in that. So that's fun.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well,
good to see you didn't sit Mishkov again. That's good.
Yeah, he had a goal and assist.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of that, Greg?
Huh?
You're not a fan of that?
What, sitting your best player?
Yeah.
Benching him in the third quarter? No. Or third period?
Torts is
Torts is good at torts.
He's going to torts. That's correct. I happen to like torts, but I know a lot of people that don't. My father being one of them.
Yeah. That doesn't like him.
Oh no, he's not a torts guy.
I mean, it's one thing if it works, but they're not winning,
Oh, they're not losing either.
They did tonight. I can tell when the Flyers aren't playing good because my dad will text me like, "That's fucking Tortorello. sit another good player, you fucking idiot."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Send a message.
Here we
send
go.
a message. No, he's definitely a message sender for sure.
Big time. He's like, they're gonna have a bad practice. I'll send him 2 games.
Yeah.
I didn't like how he was practicing. I didn't like how he was eating this morning before shoot around. Dude was chewing with his mouth open before shoot around. That's two games. That's 2 games.
He was chopping.
Motherfucker walked in eating an apple. I heard
it's only oranges today.
2 games.
He knows not to do that before 9 a.m. to me.
Yeah.
We only eat oranges on game days.
Oranges
and bananas only.
I mean, I like him for like really young players like Mitchkoff because it was like for defensive reasons, like not getting back, right? The same thing as like you would do for an NBA player who doesn't get back on defense, right? Essentially that same concept where like I actually like it. Like for a young guy, I actually like hold him accountable and being like, dude, just because you're here doesn't mean you won't be held accountable.
I don't hate it, but also if we're doing that, you can bench the whole team because we don't play any defense.
Yeah, but that's the guy you're trying to.
How do you decide which one?
But I think that's the guy you're trying to shape to be the face of your franchise.
No, you're correct. Yeah.
So when you're trying to have that like superstar in the making, you sort of want to like get the bad habits out as young as possible. So like for that, I don't mind. But like
when he
does it to like
I
Coots and shit, yeah,
I didn't understand.
When he does it to like Coots, I'm like, dude, grow up.
Come on, yeah.
Like guy's 40. You know what I mean? Like grow up.
Like what are we doing? Yeah.
But the Mitchkoff, I have no issue with because it's defensive reasons.
Yeah, and
right?
they're trying to instill good.
Trying to nip it in the butt.
Yeah,
I hear you.
And he's young.
There's other guys to play defense. You don't need Mishkov.
Oh my God, Greg, that's not the point though. It's not the point. The point is,
Mishkov isn't. No, but that's what I'm saying. Mishkov isn't here to play defense.
He's still here to get back on defense.
Sure, you gotta get back. You gotta get back.
Right. So if he's that lazy getting back, right? Then you're sending a message.
Yeah, I'm okay with. I'm okay with a message to a young guy.
Greg's letting us know that hustle doesn't matter as long as the stat sheet is good.
Because I said that. Yeah.
Well, Greg has a hard on.
I'm saying.
Greg loves a young guy.
Don't be woe is me, Greg.
Not that was in a non-Diddy way. Greg loves a young guy. No Diddy.
I'm not telling you that's necessarily what you're saying, but like
we can make that a shirt. Greg loves a young guy.
You're okay with him not hustling back on defense as long as he's scoring.
I just think Torts is probably blowing it out more proportion than it is.
As long as he's young and good, Greg's okay with him not hustling back on defense. Classic.
Yeah, no one plays defense, so you're just picking out Mishkov as the guy.
No, because I don't think that's true in the NHL. I think a lot of guys play defense.
No one on the Flyers plays defense.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. For our team, it's true.
Well, are you picking? Are you picking on the young guy, or are you picking on what's going to be arguably the best player on your team next year, if he's not already?
I think you're picking on both of them.
Yeah, and they've been. I mean, he's been doing it with Morgan Frost too, who's also a good player.
Yeah, he's been taking him around for years.
No, he has.
He's still young though, Frost. Right? What's he like? 23?
I just don't think.
Yeah, but he's gone after this year because of his contract.
You think
they won't extend him because Torts hates him.
Well, we'll find out. But I also think that you have two hockey guys that are sitting right above John Tortorella, and to where Greg feels about him, which I'm not saying Greg's wrong. I'm just like having a conversation with you guys. Is that I don't think he would still be here if they didn't believe in the message that he sends.
That's a good point.
Like there's obviously belief from two former players that this message that he sends to guys, he's not out of his fucking mind by doing it. It's like, dude, the tape is egregious. Like what I just watched is egregious. Okay. Like, and everybody else had to watch this. You're not better than anybody else. And I think that, like, we talk about NBA players never being held accountable, and in other sports never hold guys accountable. And we have a guy right in town that's willing to do it, but a lot of fans don't like it because it might be the poster kid. It might be the jersey you have, right? And it's hard to swallow that. I'm not saying you, Greg, right? I'm saying in general, like for a lot of Twitter, it's hard for them to swallow it because that's their new favorite player.
True.
Right?
True.
That's Coots. How dare you ever do that to him? He always hustles, or whatever it may be, right? That.
No, you're not wrong.
You know, and we're still not there yet as a team. Like we're not. We're close, but we're not ready to fully compete yet. We're a year away again.
Yeah,
we're not a goaltender.
We're forever a year away. We're forever a year away.
We're a goaltender and a year away, I'd say.
Is that John's fault when 90% of his roster is under 24?
Well, I mean, we could go back to this. I don't think he was the right guy to be hired anyway because of where the team was, right? Like he's not a rebuild guy.
Well, you think so? You think that? He seems pretty rebuildish to me.
Yeah, but he hasn't rebuilt us.
Not yet. But do you want to rebuild with a tank atmosphere? Or do you want to rebuild with an accountability atmosphere?
Yeah, but he's not gonna. He's like the Brett Brown. He's not going to be around when the team's ready to be going anyway.
See, I disagree with that.
He's not coaching this team in 3 years.
He has way more of a history of coaching than Brett Brown did when Brett Brown took the job.
I'm just using the example of he's not going to be the guy that gets us over.
Oh, I know what example you're using, and I'm debating that example because I don't think that those two are the same guy taking the job. Like, I don't think Cordero takes the job to be the guy to rebuild it and then you fire him. He's obviously said, hey, I'm in this for the long haul, too.
That
obviously was a conversation for him to take a job and to rebuild.
You would think, Tommy, I agree.
That was the former group, though. That wasn't Danny B and Jonesy. Right?
Yeah,
that was the former regime.
Though, I agree.
They did stick with him. They did stick with him, but I don't necessarily know that he gets another contract.
Yeah, if they didn't want him, I think they fire him immediately.
I don't know that. I'm not saying fire. I'm just saying once it ends up, he's probably going to do what the Flyers do, and he's going to fail.
What's his last year of his contract? What's his last year of his contract? Do we know that?
2 years from now, right?
I don't know exactly what it is.
He's signed for 4?
Yeah, if
I think it's like 2.
If he's got another 2 left.
I think he has 2 more. Yeah.
Then I can't say he's going to get fired or walk away because they might be a team contending for a cup.
4-year deal starting in 22-23. So this is his
second year. Oh, yeah. Third year. Yeah, so he's got 1 more after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
next year, we'll find out after this year because usually when there's 1 year left is when they want an extension.
Or this is the make or break year. Like they need to be a playoff team. And then we talk extension.
It should have been last year.
Yeah, they fell apart at the end of the year.
You lost 10 games at the end of the season.
Yeah, it fell apart.
Literally lost 10 in a row to end the year.
Yeah, I just don't know if they were good enough.
But they had a playoff spot before they lost 10 games in a row.
Correct.
And all you had to do is win 1-2 games in that 10 games.
We had the best hockey we played in the last decade was right before the COVID shutdown.
Yes,
we were on fire.
We were
if
clicking on all cylinders.
If the playoffs started at that time, like they were about to, like a month from where we were going to be really dangerous.
Yes,
the layoff killed us.
Now, do you think they're a playoff team this year?
They should have been.
They should be, but the goaltending is so bad that we might not be.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate the goaltending. Yeah, agreed, Wills. I didn't anticipate the goaltending.
As of now, do you think they will be a playoff team?
No, not as of now.
No. We're letting up too many goals.
I mean, they've lost 5 of their last 6.
I mean, we could still make the playoffs.
They beat the Ducks. They beat the Ducks the other night. I'm sorry, they beat Columbus. So 1, 2, 3.
You can still win that 10 in a row and get yourself in, too.
They've lost 5 of their last 7. Yes, you're right. I mean, they could always do that, sure. But they've lost 5 of their last 7. And they've only beaten Columbus and Anaheim, Columbus is just above them in the Metro.
I mean, if it started right now, we would not be in the playoffs, correct?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, yeah. So I mean, it's up.
But we're not far off.
I would like to see them make the playoffs, though.
What are we like to see them points out? Something like that.
They're to a lesser degree kind of in that same wavelength of the Sixers. Like I said, to a lesser degree, the Sixers roster is pretty set, right? But the Flyers isn't. But when you come to the trade deadline talk, where do you go, right? Do you full sell and continue that rebuild, or do you try and sell and then buy at the same time, right?
Can I be honest with you? You don't have to do either. I mean, you don't have to sell older players because you don't have many. Like when you look at the roster, this roster is littered with like 27 and under.
Yeah, a bunch of young guys. Yep.
Like this is totally right. So you were either just, hey, we're going to sell some young guys and go in, right? Or you just stay status quo. Like I think they're your 2 options coming up to the deadline. Is what do you got to get rid of besides Coots? Because that'd be the only over 30 guy that's like that you're going to get something really back.
Lawton's probably on his way out.
Yeah, I think of Lawton. I think the only guys that might get moved are
probably
Ristolainen, Lawton.
Just because Risto, his value's going up. He's actually played pretty well recently.
Yeah, and he's one of the only older guys. Yeah.
But it's going to be an interesting decision because you're right, Tommy. To your point, right now they are not a playoff team. Going into the season, they should have been.
Correct.
Right? They should have been a playoff team, especially when you think of what they did last year. Right? Even though they probably were a year early last year, but the fact is that you had a playoff spot before those final 10 games, and then you flip that. You think probably going to be in that same spot this year. But then you add a guy like Mishkov, and then you get years. You hope that you get a better year from TK and a better year from Tippett, which you're starting to.
I like Tippett.
Farabee's another guy I think you probably could part with. Frost is another guy you might part with, just because I know the organization's probably fed up with him. But they're in an interesting scenario.
Yeah, I would agree. So are the Sixers, honestly.
Yeah, well, they're in a great situation because they have so much young talent.
No, I agree with that too.
That's why. Like they're not. Their window isn't like coming up to close.
No, for sure.
Their window isn't even open yet. That's the funny thing with them. Like anything they do now, like, and I say this starting this year. I'm taking away last year, right?
Sure.
Anything they do from like now on is a bonus. Like if they got into the playoffs this year, to me, they're still a year away. So it's a bonus. You're a year ahead of schedule. Next year is the playoffs or bust to me because now that young talent has played together for a
couple
year.
Years. Yeah.
Like now you're going to find out who grows more, right? And it's year 2 of Mitchkoff, getting a full year in the NHL under his belt. And I think the other reason he gets sat sometimes, guys, is just because of the wear and tear of the NHL game too. Yeah. Right? Now, like, we're not even factoring into it, man. Like, this guy's fucking 18 years old.
Just sit the game then, right? Like,
well, maybe they don't do it that way. I don't know.
I didn't like that early in the year, but it worked, right? So I can see that. I just don't know what benching a guy for an entire period does, right? If you're worried about sending a message, then sit him the whole game.
What? What's one? Mitchkoff?
Mitchkoff, right? Because he did it like 3 games in a row where he sat him in the third period, at least 2 games in a row. Sat him the entire third period or like one shift, right? Like, so if and to your point, I'm sure, low, but see, it's so weird. The hockey season they've had weeks off, like in between games and stuff like that. So it's hard for me in today's NHL to worry about like game load on these guys because they have so much time off. Yeah. But if that's a case where you're worried about it, then sit the whole game, right? Just you're down this game. Right,
I'm not saying that's the reason, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
I'm just trying to give up like excuses on why that stuff happens. But listen, but Flyers definitely glass is half full, future wise. We said that for a while, but hopefully it's getting closer.
We need one of these goalies, and you're probably looking
one of them
at
has
one
to take
of the
a step forward. That's what we're
looking at one of these guys to take that step forward. You thought you were getting it from Merson, but he hasn't been. He's been okay.
He hasn't been very good.
But he hasn't been great. He hasn't been good this year, right? I'm not going to, as a second year, I'm not going to say he can't ever play. But, preferably you would like one of these Russians just to continue that pipeline to take that step forward and take the job.
Yeah. Sixers-wise, though, playing really good basketball.
Before I forget, shout out Pat Driscoll. That's the kid that caught the ball that AJ their stands. That's an Audubon kid, by the way.
Audubon for life. Let's go,
Audubon
Wave.
kids everywhere.
Let's go, Wave. Yeah, that's awesome. I recognized him. I'm like, why do I know that guy?
Yeah.
And then it started firing off.
I said the same thing, and my brother texted me immediately. He's like, that's fucking Pat Driscoll. I was like, oh, shit, okay.
That's awesome.
They live next door to Chapel's parents.
Yeah.
The Driscolls,
awesome. Yeah. Because as soon as it was
good family. So I'm happy. Yeah. It's good. That's good shit.
Yeah. Like how
he's getting like a little 15 minutes. He's been on every fucking literally. They've showed him on NFL Network, Fox, at Sports Center, everything.
I'm glad it's not one of the face paint guys. So that's great.
Me too. I agreed.
But Sixers wise, playing hot, and now they're on this 5-game West Coast trip where they get the first one, which is big, in a game where me and my dad were watching last night. He's like, geez, it's such a game of runs, right? It really is like this ebb and flow of an NBA game if you watch it from start to finish. where like the first 5 minutes, Sixers look dead, look like it's going to be a blowout, and they come storming back, and it's back and forth and whatever. But
everybody makes a run.
Tyrese Maxey's the real deal. And it's great.
Dude,
it's great to have him.
I
He was
love
great
the
in the
fact
fourth quarter again last night.
I was gonna say I love
And
the fact
that's
that in the
big.
fourth quarter he just goes to the hole. He just, you know what? I'm gonna go to the fucking hole. I love it.
He's got
I love
ice in
it.
his veins from three.
I love it.
Like late in games too.
I love
Like
it
from
because
three, it's like
we're different than you watch these other teams play and they shoot 1.5 million threes. Now we shoot a lot of threes too, but when the game's on the line, Tyrese goes to the hole. He's like Iverson used to. Just goes to the fucking hole.
Yeah, I think we have two guys that play more inside than they do outside in the fourth, and that's him and Embiid, obviously. And they both were good in the fourth quarter last night, which helped us win that game. But the next 4 games are, I don't want to say all easy, but they're easier games where you have Portland tomorrow. Then I believe you have Sacramento, obviously just fired their coach.
Yep.
Then you're going.
They've been playing like shit.
Then you got Golden State, which is probably the hardest test of this.
And the trick with the Golden State Sacramento game is that's going to be a back-to-back. Yep.
But I always said you're competitive as fuck
play.
with Maxey and George playing, right? So I would just have Maxey and George play probably Wednesday night.
Sacramento.
And then not have Embiid play and have Embiid play Thursday against Golden State. That's what I would do.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they do the same because you're right, Tommy. That's the consensus, right? Like idea around it.
Maxey and George have already showed like those two together can win games. Like I'm not saying we have a great record. I'm just saying like over the last month and a half, those two have started to show a pulse together, which is great news.
Yeah.
So you're not dead in the water without them.
Yeah.
But this is a stretch where I need to be 4-1 in these 5 games, just to continue to keep trending in the right direction because
we started so bad.
Yeah, but that Christmas Day
together wins.
That Christmas Day game is it's huge.
I mean, that's the start of the season. If we're being honest, the NBA starts on Christmas. NBA starts on Christmas,
and we usually never win that game. Yeah, and it was nice to come out and what I thought would play great defense and everything they did in that game, and then have a little bit of like a setback. It looked like yesterday, just throughout the game, but still able to get out with the win. And that's all they got to really keep doing right now is just find ways to pile them up and put them together. And I think, like I said, watching the development of Tyrese Maxey, even from last year to this year, he's gotten better with things. So, and I think PG has been awesome that might not show up in stat sheets all the time too. Because I thought his defense has been really good. And I think when Embiid doesn't play, he's more, let's say he's more trying to get his own shot than he is when he does play, right? So you see a little bit more uptick in his scoring production. That's why I don't mind if Embiid doesn't play, because then that's a game where PG and Maxey might go for 30 apiece, right? Because they have the ability to do that. So you look at it from all those angles. It's a team that can still win games throughout this season, even though you're going to get hit with the Joel here and there. They're still good enough to be, let's say, that 5-6 hole. Like, I don't want to say they're any better than that, but that 5-6 is a good landing spot for them. And I think if you ask anybody, a month ago, if they ended up in the 5 or 6 hole, would you be happy with that? I think most would.
I'll tell you. And I mean, give me the 5. Give me the 5. Because I want every fucking piece of Cleveland. Please let Cleveland be the 1 seed. Please let us play Cleveland. I can't wait to shit on the fucking Cavaliers. There is no bigger fraud in the NBA than Donovan Mitchell. And I'll stand on that fucking rock till I die. Fraud.
Well, he was asking a question. Yeah, 101, Bill. 101 yards, Billy. That's what he is. Yeah, breaking the record. So.
That being said, I don't know how well we match up. I don't want to play the Knicks.
I don't even want to have that conversation.
The Knicks scare me.
I don't even want to get there until we're in the playoffs, right? Because we have a lot of work to do, but we're trending in the right direction. The roster around these 3 players looks like it fits in a lot of different ways. I think Yabusele's been awesome.
I mean, how bad has Caleb Martin been? And then he comes out on Christmas Day and his looks. I mean, like we said, he's the Celtic killer.
Yep. That's why you go out and get a guy.
That's why you go get him. Celtic killer. We go.
But I said it on
from 3.
Well, so I said it on Thursday show, which is just like, it probably goes yesterday, right? You get repetitive because like that was the biggest game to date. But our perimeter defense in that first quarter set a tone.
Yeah.
Set a tone that game. I thought Kelly Oubre was up in shorts. Kelly Oubre, like, and he's not known for that, right? He's not a guy that you go out on a limb and be like, oh, Kelly Oubre is an elite defender. But I thought Kelly Oubre was up in shorts. I thought Paul George was up in shorts. I thought Tyrese Maxey was up in shorts. I thought our perimeter defense was awesome. Awesome from the start of that game.
And that's what you need, especially against Boston.
And Caleb Martin's another one.
Because they're going to shoot a lot of threes.
And Caleb Martin's another one. And when you see that, you start saying to yourself, okay, that's what we thought we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And
we thought,
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're good.
No,
I still can't believe that Al Horford just hits big shots against us. I cannot hate him.
When I tell you what I said before the start of the game,
I cannot hate someone more than I hate Al Horford.
Said it to my brother-in-law and my dad. I said, listen, he's going to hit 8 corners threes versus us right before the game started. And, he came out and hit like 3 straight corner threes.
Hit 2 right off the rip, right?
And I was like,
first 6 points.
I was like, told you. And they were like laughing like, dude, that's unbelievable. I said, it's just what he does. And he came here and he forgot how to shoot.
Yeah,
which I know from
isn't it?
Which I know personally from a Sixer scout that came into the building during the wintertime and told me, like, dude, they like he changed his shot. And I was like, wait, what? Get him out of here. You know what I mean?
Changed his shot once he got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was
makes sense
for how good that he's been against us always. He was that bad on our team.
Yeah, he was atrocious.
It's crazy.
That's unreal. Change your shot. You're like 75 years into your career, and now you're going to change your shot. It's like a golfer. Oh, I'm going to redo my swing. Why? You just won every tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, I get it. And KZ, I get it. He's hurt, blah, blah, blah. But when he's played, he's been really good. So, Embiid, that is.
Yeah, we just need him on the court. I mean, that's been the entire time that he's been on the team.
I'll say it again. This team's good enough to beat teams even without him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Not in the playoffs. Like, I'm not telling you they're going to go win a world title, right? But without them, they can.
Yeah, there's some tough teams. Obviously,
they can win because they have elite guard play.
I feel like we match up pretty well with the Celtics because they just can't stop Embiid. They don't have anybody that can stop Embiid.
Same with the Knicks.
Yeah.
The Knicks scare me a little bit more.
But they don't have the guy to match up.
I agree. They don't have the guy to match up.
It's not last year. The only team that really has it, is Cleveland, to be honest with you.
The Knicks are fucking junkyard dogs.
Cleveland's the one that has it, though. And
if we play that Knicks team, what's it called? Will probably have fucking 14 offensive rebounds a game. Josh Hart. I'm not gonna lie. I love that fucking Knicks team. It upsets me how much I like that Knicks team because I hate the Knicks, but I like that team.
But
they're
good,
really good.
But we're scrappy too. Like we have those types of players too.
I agree, but
like Yabusele is a rebounder.
I like
their Martin's
guys
an offensive
more.
rebounder. Like I'm saying that we have more and more guys that are junkyard dogs now. We have more and more guys.
I'll give you that
than we did last year, even right? Because
they have like 3 guys that are stars and junkyard dogs.
Well, Yabusele is turning himself into a really good NBA player. And yeah, I'm not calling him some of the Knicks guys that are junkyard dogs. I'm just saying, I think Tyrese Maxey's a junkyard dog for being a star too. I think when Embiid plays, he plays like a junkyard dog, and that's why he gets hurt all the time, right? And Paul George, I since being a Sixer, I've never questioned like his hustle and shit. You know what I mean? I've seen him get on the floor for loose balls. I see him do all the things that you may question about guys.
When PG plays defense, he's a good defender.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a guy who doesn't not play defense either. Like, I don't think he's a guy who you can say is like one of those superstar frauds. Like, I don't see him quit on plays. Like, I watch a lot of games, right? I'm not the typical NBA guy that, like, in today's world that's going to watch a lot of games, right? But I do still watch a lot of games because I enjoy it. And I've not seen him be a dog. Where, like, Harden, I've watched games where it's like, yo, you are collecting a check, and I know
he wants no parts of defense a lot.
Yeah.
Like PG's always willing to make the right pass. Like I just seen too much of him to be like, dude, I love the signing. I wish it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
love
always
the
liked
signing.
PG. It's just my biggest issue with him is that he's hurt a lot and he's always been small in the playoffs.
But in this roster,
We don't need him to be. You don't need him to be the guy. I agree with
dude,
you
is
there.
he better than Tobias Harris?
Absolutely.
So that's all you need to know about the contract. He's a better defender. He's a better distributor. He can handle the rock. He can still create his own shot, right? All those things he can still do. He doesn't need to be perfect in the playoffs. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid need to be perfect in the playoffs. That's your ticket. Your meal ticket's those two. Who's going to be the third guy? The difference is this year, unlike other years, I think there's a lot of other options to potentially be that guy on a given night. One night it could be Kelly Oubre. Okay? He has the ability to drop 25. One night it can be
Caleb Martin. Yeah.
One night it can be PG. One night it could be Caleb Martin. One night it could be Abiselli who goes off for 20 off your bench. So, then I'm not telling you have a bunch of guys who can do that. You have enough guys who can sort of have those type of nights for you.
Yep.
Like they're just deep when they're healthy. They are absolutely deep. They're absolutely going to be a tough out if they get themselves into the dance. But right now, just talking about the rest of the season, I just want to continue to see sort of the toughness. We showed the ability to respond to a terrible start when it's easy to start pointing fingers. And there are a lot of drama that started this year, right? And that's easy drama to divide a locker room and do other things, right? I'm happy to see it didn't. It makes me know that Nick Nurse is the right guy for the job, which I believe he was from the beginning. All right. And I believe in this coaching staff, even Kyle Lowry, who's part of the staff. But I do think they have some things they might need to add at the deadline. If that's either another big of some sort or another guard that can handle the rock like we talked about on Thursday. They probably need something else, right? I don't know which way you guys would go on that. But either way, they're good.
I like a big that can board. Because I feel like that's where we can get hurt.
See, KZ, I completely disagree with you, dude. Like, this is where, I just think you make asinine comments. Like, he's been terrible. Like, he hasn't had the same lineup consistently throughout the year. And he has his team going in the right direction now. So, what's the problem? You know what I mean? Like, how's he been terrible?
Winners of 3 in a row, 7 of their last 10.
Through the start they had. I think he's been great when he's had his at least two of the three. When he's had at least 2 of the 3 on the court together, just 2 of them, not all 3 of them, just 2 of them, he's been really good as a coach.
Yeah, and I think it's completely unfair. I know KZ just put it out there, but I think it's completely unfair to throw it on Nick Nurse for the start of the season. Like, that's just completely unfair. With the team that he had at his disposal,
we weren't playing any defense.
It was a G League team.
We weren't playing any defense at the beginning of the year either.
G League team probably beats us.
None.
No, none. I don't even know why.
In fact, it did. The Hornets and the Pistons beat us.
Yeah, I don't even know why we're crushing Nick Nurse rotations when he didn't even know who was playing before the game started.
Yeah, I just think it's so tough to put on him.
It's crazy. But either way, they're winners of 7 out of the last 10. Mm-hmm. We've talked about that need to be winners of 22 out of 26 or 28, right? Like that big run, like 22-6 type run. They need that. And right here is good enough too. If you just keep rattling off 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, in 2 months, they're probably sitting in that 7 seed.
14,
right?
14 to 22. 14 out of 22 is not a bad stretch.
No, that'll get you where you need to get to too. We'll take a little longer.
14 out of 20, sorry.
Yeah, 14 out of 20.
14 and 6 would be great, yeah.
14 and 6, 14 and 6, 14 and 6. You're gonna climb up that ladder and they'll work themselves into that 7-6 hole within like a 2-month span, right? Depending on how other teams play, but from the looks of it, we're lucky we're in the conference we are in.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it still gives us a fighter's chance. If we were in the West, it would be definitely an uphill battle.
Yeah, I think we're okay. We're going to make the playoffs. I think you can definitely say that, barring bad injuries.
Yeah.
We're going to make the playoffs, so we'll be okay there. It's just we're not going to have we're not going to have a great seed. But guess what? We've had every seed known to man. It hasn't helped us. So who knows?
Right.
No, it always happens when you don't expect it. I've said that for 42 years with the Sixers. So I'll say it again. Why not? But this was definitely a year where you come into it and Embiid talks about not playing back-to-backs. And next thing you know, he's hurt to start the season.
Then we're 1-10 or whatever.
Then PG gets hurt before the start of the season, and then you're 1-10, and everybody's out.
Guys falling.
Yeah, everybody's out. Rightfully so. The whole
our pets' heads are falling off.
Whole city's out, and then you're 3-14, and then you start chipping away.
Chippewa Indians.
And they
what are we now? 12? 12 wins?
17.
Yeah, we're chipping away. Chip.
Yeah.
I mean, like Tommy said, half a game back to that 10 spot.
Here's the question for you boys.
And how much from the 6?
3.5 from the 6.
Yeah, it's right there. It's just like it's open season. You're right back in the game. That's all you had to do. You just had to go on a little run, get yourself like if you're going in the newspaper and looking up the standings, just make yourself look better. That's it. Right? Make yourself look a little better to the naked eye. And you're right back into the conversation.
And the teams above us, right? I mean, regardless of what year it is, you got the Pistons, the Bulls, the Pacers, the Heat, the Bucks, and the Hawks. The Hawks are currently the 5 seed.
The Pistons are playing above their head right now.
But those are the teams above us, right? So
Chicago's not better than us.
As we've said the last couple minutes, right? You continue to go 7-3 and 10, right, over a long period of time. You're going to get right back up there. And Orlando's at the 4 seed, and everyone's hurt.
I love that fucking team, though. I like the Orlando team. They are hurt, but I like that team when they're healthy. I like Wagner. Yeah. I like both Wagners. I really like Paolo.
Bancaro, yeah.
No, I mean, I would say,
and I like killing Suggs a lot, too.
I would say 1 through 6, the East is strong when it's healthy. Because you're going to throw Milwaukee into that conversation.
They're 6 right now, yep.
You obviously throw Orlando into it, and you throw all the higher teams up there in New York.
Yeah, Cleveland,
Boston,
New York,
and Cleveland,
Boston,
right?
Yeah.
And then us. And I sort of say, like, if you count us into that 6 somewhere, that's 6, 7, it's good teams. It's definitely good teams. So, and then, like we talked about Atlanta, they're playing over their head. They're not
Detroit's
good.
Detroit's
Chicago
ahead of time. They're too young. They'll probably fall off the end of the year, I would assume. Detroit.
Well, and then you look at the teams above you, right? Like again, Chicago, they're probably selling Levine and Vucevic at this deadline, right? I think Vucevic is in the last year of his deal, so he's probably getting dealt. There's rumors that Jimmy wants out of Miami, right? So who knows what's going to happen with Miami?
Well, he requested a trade, and Riley said he's not going to trade him. I'm not sure how true that is, but that's what he said.
Yeah. So I know Shams is staking his career on Miami's trading Jimmy, whether everybody in the industry wants to believe him or not.
Yeah. Well, either way, even with them, I don't think they're as good as they were in years past. So just with him getting older.
Yeah, no, they're not as good. But they're dangerous just because Jimmy is gonna ball.
Yeah,
Jimmy, big time, big game Jimmy. He's
they're so good. Like they have a big man and they have a guard. And they have a guard.
Hero can shoot.
Hero can score the basketball, and they have a guard who
running around like a ragdoll today. Did you see that?
No.
Hero got tossed around like a ragdoll.
Did
he? They played the Rockets today. He just got tossed around in a scrum. Eman Thompson just like whipped him around. It's pretty funny.
I did see that there was like a fight in that game, so I guess that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Good for the NBA because they need something.
Yeah, get somebody to watch the games. They've been atrocious. It's very tough. And so I'll tell you one thing. I'm not a Goodell guy, but I can't wait to see what he does for Christmas next year. After like LeBron and people are like, I can't believe.
And it's going to be on a football day too.
It's
like
Thursday.
They're already on Thursdays.
Yeah, Greg, you might as well mark it down. It's going to be a 3-gamer instead of a 2-gamer like this year. It's going to be a 3-gamer, and it's going to be heavy.
Well, because you already got the Thursday night on Prime, so
it's going to be like
it's definitely going to be a 3-bagger.
It's going to be like Eagles, Cowboys, fucking Kansas City, Buffalo. And he's going to drop his nuts right on the fucking NBA's face. Oh, yeah, here you go. Enjoy it. And they're
Smart
like, it's
comment.
the NBA's day. The highest rated game on Christmas Day for the NBA was 5.2 million viewers.
There you go, Umberto.
The what's it called? The NFL game was 24.5 million.
Yeah.
Five.
And it was on a
And
streaming
it wasn't on
service.
free TV.
Yeah, it wasn't on Channel 6, ABC,
Yeah.
which everybody in the world gets. Whole world gets Channel 6 or ABC,
Yeah.
right?
And what's crazy, Tommy, is that not only were they like, yeah, we're gonna jump into the Christmas Day with a couple NFL games, but we're gonna put them on Netflix, so you can't even switch the channel back to the fucking NBA game.
Yeah, we're not even going to give them a rating.
We're not even gonna let you switch back to them. You're gonna have to turn Netflix off to go watch them.
Netflix is taking over. They're getting wrestling starting on Monday.
I saw that. Well, they got Raw, huh?
They got Raw.
That's huge.
That's
How
huge
long
for
is
my
Raw-
DVR. That's
How
huge for
long
my
has Raw been
DVR.
on USA?
Like 30
Ever.
years.
Right?
Yeah, 30 years they've been
USA's
on.
done.
Crazy.
Well, USA still has SmackDown.
Yeah, but Raw's the big one, though, right?
Well,
I
Raw's
mean,
the big one.
Yeah.
And
I
for
can't-
at
I
least
saw
the
when-
remainder of 25, NBC through Peacock will still have all the pay-per-views or the live events, right?
Yeah.
But after 26, I would guess everything's going to Netflix.
Yeah, I would assume that too. And I didn't even realize that until I was watching the Christmas Day games, and it was like flashing that they're having Raw on Netflix. I'm like, wait, what? What's happening here?
Tomorrow night's the last Raw on USA.
Oh, you would think they're going to go out with a bang of some sort.
You would think, and then they're starting off January 6th with a bang too.
Yeah, I would agree. Here's before, I know we're getting to 2 hours here, but what do we think about the playoff games, the college football playoff games? That is.
I think it's.
How are you feeling, Greg, about the State Penn?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. I mean, the game could play out many different ways, but you're the more physical, talented team, right? You know,
Yes,
what I mean,
I would agree with you there, and they've been playing good ball.
You can't allow Genty to just hold on to the football.
Here's the
right?
whole thing.
You can't stop the run. It's going to be a long day.
I was going to say that's the whole thing, Greg, because both times that you guys lost, you got ran on.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, they've run on everybody. They can run the ball. They ran on Oregon. They're gonna try to just run the ball. Obviously, you know that. If you come out and you stop the run, you're gonna beat them probably badly.
Yeah, and I think you will.
But they're not terrible. They're not terrible.
Drew's got to be better. Now it's going to be better conditions, right? You're going to be in a dome. It's going to be all, you ain't going to have to worry about the cold. Drew Howard's going to have to play better because you're only going to have potentially, if Genty and Boise State does what everyone thinks their game plan is going to be, if they control the clock, you're only going to have limited plays on offense.
Yeah, what's to say? If they do what they've done all year, which is.
I mean, they're going to run the shit out of the ball. You know that.
Yep.
I mean,
it's the same thing like the Eagles do, right? Like we run the football so effectively that we limit the possessions of the opposing team, especially in the second half when we potentially have a lead, and we can just turn around to Mariano and say, "Here you go, Saquon. Go ahead and close the game for us."
The Steelers ran like 11 plays in the second half.
11 plays and a half.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But
I think it's going to be a tight. I think it might be tighter than people think that game, because I think Boise's going to unless Boise just can't run the ball, then you guys might kill them. But I think judging by every game I've watched Boise play this year, I mean they're probably going to be able to run the ball a little bit. They ran on Oregon, and their defense is not bad.
But the flip side though is they can't stop the run either.
No.
UNLV ran for over 200 yards, so with Singleton and Katron Allen, you would think that Penn State should be able to run all over them as well.
Because, I mean, like most Big Ten teams, you're built up front.
You're built up front, yes.
On both sides of the football. So you got to out-physical them. Like I said, on the defensive side of football, they're still going to get theirs offensively to a point because they're great at what they do.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously. So they'll get theirs to a point, but it's like, can you contain it?
Yeah. Can you do it for a full game?
Yeah, you're not gonna stop somebody completely at what they do, but can you contain it? And if they do, they're going to win that. They're going to win that football game. And I don't know if any of the bowl games now are going to be landslides and blowouts.
No, I think it's going to be a lot tighter now.
Like I think you're going to start getting.
Texas has the opportunity to.
Well, they do. I just think Boise.
I like that Arizona State team, but that's another thing is Texas stops the run, they might blow them out because Arizona State's just going to give the ball to Scatterbo. You know that.
Yeah. But these teams that
like
are still here,
though.
now you talk about Boise and Arizona State didn't have to win a game to get here either. Right. But still, I think we're going to find out they're ranked where they're supposed to be ranked. Right. We'll find out a lot about, what conferences we're using and how we're doing this whole thing to continue to fine tune it. But I'm not one to sit here and complain that they got it all wrong because there was blowouts.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. Well,
there's going to be blowouts until the parity evens out. Until it becomes there's more parity in the game. Like there's still blue bloods per se in terms of NIL money that will even itself out over time because more people are going to come out of the woodwork for Power 5 schools that are a little lesser, right? So it's going to start evening itself out.
Yeah, and I'll die on the hill that as long as they're going to have those games on campus, the first round games, the teams that play on campus are going to dominate a lot of those games.
They should. These are college games.
I can't believe I'm so mad at myself that I didn't just load up on all the home teams last week. I should have. It was it's so simple. Why would you not?
Look, it's a college football. It's a college football.
Yeah, it becomes so hard to win that game on the road. I'm still pissed. I feel like if Syracuse doesn't blow that game to Stanford, we put up a much better effort than SMU, strictly because we can score the football. Yeah. That game wasn't a try. SMU couldn't move the ball.
And I thought Tennessee was going to give Ohio State everything, and Ohio State must have went out and bought a whole new team because that was a different game.
No, Ohio State just came out to play.
No, absolutely.
Ohio State might win it all. They might be the most talented team.
I think
when they play like they just played against Tennessee, watch out.
They're losing this week.
No chance. Well, they could, but I don't think so.
What's the line of that game again?
2.5 Ohio State.
I like Ohio State, and they're going to beat Oregon. I think Ohio State over Oregon. Penn State, give me Penn State. Give me Ohio State. Give me Texas.
Yep.
And I hate to say it, but give me Notre Dame. And I love Georgia. I just don't know. I'm nervous about this kid playing quarterback, and I don't think Carson Beck's very good either. I think that's going to be a battle, though, because both teams have good lines.
Yeah, I mean, it's set up as 1.5
defensive
lines.
Yeah. It's going to be a battle.
Yeah, give me Georgia and give me Oregon. But besides that, I'm right with you.
Yep, I'm with you. Oregon and Georgia. I just don't think Riley Leonard's good enough to put up anything against Georgia.
No,
I think it's going to be a rock fight. It's like a 16-17
and I don't think Ohio State.
I think Ohio State's awesome.
I do. I think they're good, right? I have trouble with Ryan Day, personally.
Well, I have a lot of trouble with Ryan Day.
I think
if they lose, I think it's probably Ryan Day's fault.
I don't think they're going to be able to score with them. That's why I think
they have the most talented roster, though. They have the best receiver. They have the two best running backs. Like running back, maybe Genty might be the best running back, but the combo of their two is the best in my opinion. Quinshon Junkins and the other guy.
Still quarterback.
Henderson.
I don't know how I feel about their quarterback.
I like their quarterback. I do. I don't know. I think
I'm just not all in on them.
The biggest flaw for them is their O-line has injuries. So if you can stop them from running and make them have to throw the ball, they want to play kind of like we play. They want to run the ball, throw on play action. They don't want to have Will Howard throw the ball 35 times.
Yeah.
So if you force them to do that, that's how you're going to beat them. That's how they'll lose. Which it should be a battle. I think the Oregon game is going to be a battle. I just think Ohio State's going to win.
Yeah, I think talent-wise, Oregon can match up, obviously. A little bit better than Tennessee does.
I feel like Ohio State should have beat them in Oregon. If Will Howard slides 1 second before, second before, they got a field goal to win the game.
Yeah, I think Oregon's far and away a better team than they were back then. And I don't know that you could say that for Ohio State outside of last weekend. I mean, Ohio State looked really good last week, but that was an anomaly for them down the stretch here.
Was it?
Right? They didn't look great. I mean, they beat Penn State, but they
the
didn't
only
look great
time they
against
didn't
Penn
look
State.
good was against Michigan.
And they didn't look great against Michigan.
Penn State's tough. I mean, I
No,
felt like
I know. I'm saying,
I felt
but
like
they
they
didn't look
handled Penn
great.
State for how tough they are, and they
And
fucking
I
steamrolled
didn't think
Indiana.
personally. I didn't think. Yeah, but I didn't think they looked great in that game. I thought
And
it was
no,
more
I
like
would
what
agree.
And same
Indiana
thing, they didn't
can't.
look great against
It
Indiana.
was more like what Indiana can't do.
They couldn't do. I agree.
Yeah, the more so than what Ohio State.
They looked phenomenal against
They
Tennessee.
took
We can say
advantage
that.
of
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Indiana gave them.
Absolutely, but I don't know how good Tennessee is.
They've proven that too. Yeah.
That's my point. I think
I
Ohio
think-
State's good. I don't know talent wise. I got you. I don't trust the coach in big games, and they got a big one coming up. That's all.
No, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
mean, they got a monster coming up, and it's not at the Horseshoe, and we'll see. We'll see.
It would
how
be
it's
on
good enough.
brand for everyone to be so pissed off that they lose to that Michigan team and then have them go run to the national title.
On the table.
Yeah.
Especially with all our fans after Michigan were like, I don't even care. Don't even play.
It would be great
Right.
if they won a national title and still fired Ryan Day, though. That would be hilarious.
That'd be awesome. That would be
Amazing.
awesome. But no, I think that it's fun.
Good
It's
national
fun.
title, you're fired.
It's
Yeah.
fun, but
You
this is
can't
what
beat
you want.
Michigan, you're fired.
This is
You
what
know,
want.
like the playoffs are working if we can have debates like that.
Yep.
Right. So you know that when there's like, man, it's a tough game. Oh, it's a tough game. Oh, it's a tough game. And you got 8 teams still left standing, right? And you can be like, oh, tough. Right. That tells you, hey, they're doing their job here. Seems like we're getting this part of it right.
Yeah, no, I would say, I think what they're going to, I know we were talking about this in the beginning about like how the seeding, I think what they're going to end up doing, instead of being like the winners get the first 4 seeds, it's going to be that the winners get an automatic bid and then they'll seed them.
Yes, that's what they should
That's
do.
what they're going to do. It's
Yes.
an automatic bid, but you'll get seeded wherever.
Yeah.
That's what I think they're going to do.
And that will change it up and make it right.
Yeah,
And
that's
even
the way to do it.
But overall,
And
I
even
thought
if
they had
you
the
wanna-
Like
teams
Ohio
right.
State shouldn't, like Oregon should not have to play Ohio State with their first game. That's crazy.
No.
Ohio State should not be 8.
No. It's
And
ridiculous.
even if like Boise State and Arizona State, if you want to say that they get a home game, right?
Yeah,
like
put them
go
at 5 or
fine,
6,
but they
yeah.
shouldn't be 3 and 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
you
we'll
know what I
find
mean?
out.
Yeah. No, you're
I don't
right.
think-
We will.
I don't think they should be. But
I think Boise's going to play
we'll
well.
run.
I do agree that if one of them smells like a blowout, it's Texas, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I don't
Yeah.
know that they will, but that's the one that smells like a blowout to me. And I love
Especially
Arizona
when-
State's coach. And I love the way that they've been playing. Texas
young.
is a very,
He's young.
very good defense.
He's 36,
So Arizona
he's
State's
36 years old.
Yeah, he's younger than me, younger
Yeah.
than all of us.
Well, the funny thing is they weren't
No,
even
he's
supposed
awesome
to be,
though.
They weren't
Yeah,
even
big
supposed to be
fan.
the better team in their own state.
Yeah,
Right.
Arizona's supposed to be better. Yeah,
Yeah. So
everyone
Yeah.
loves that. I mean, Arizona has that receiver that's also
Wide
like in the
receiver,
top
yeah.
5, McMillan.
McMillan, yeah.
Besides that, their quarterback really struggled this year. Fafita, who I liked. He had a
yeah,
bad
they thought he
year.
was supposed to, he was supposed to be good.
Yeah, bad year.
He did the
Yeah,
When you have the
opposite
best
of what
rece- when
he
you have
did
best
the opposite
receiver-
of what Diego Pavia did at Vanderbilt.
I love Diego Pavia. I'm such a Diego Pavia guy. I
He
love
got an extra.
Vanderbilt.
He got an extra year.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
well, because he
coming
played JUCO. What's it
Yeah.
called? My boy's trying to get next year. Give McCord another year. Give him another year, NCAA. It's great to see him sling. I still think we would have given Penn State a better game just because we can score. They
think
probably would have scored on us every possession. But
You would have given Penn
would've
State
scored
a
some
better
points.
game. You would have given Notre Dame a better game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It's just because we blew that stupid game against fucking Stanford. You fucking idiot.
For the first year, I do think they did get the right team, the teams in there, right? Between like Indiana and SMU. But now when you look back at it, you could say, okay, maybe we got to be a little bit more diligent and looking at maybe we do look at strength of schedule better, right? Maybe we don't just look at pure records. But
Yeah, I'm okay with them
every
leaving
one of those
Bama
3
out.
losses team, every one of those 3 losses team did something, losing that third game, that kept them out of there.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Bama, you cannot lose that Oklahoma team. It's a
You
bad
can't lose to
Oklahoma
both.
team.
You
can't
can't
lose
go
to them.
0-2 to Oklahoma and Vandy. You can't do it.
No, that's what keeps you out. Yeah,
That's what keeps
And
you out.
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Alabama. If Alabama had played either Penn State or Notre Dame, it's a much better game than that they had. 100%. We all would agree with that. But you just can't lose that game. You can't lose to Oklahoma. You can't lose to a bad Oklahoma team when you already have 2 losses. You just can't.
Yep. And
That's
Ole
what
Miss, you
keeps you
can't
out.
lose to Florida the second last week of the year.
Yeah.
No, because that's when you're a must-win time.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, the reason I love this whole setup is you allow teams the flexibility of 2. And that's 2 losses. It used to be you can't lose 1.
Yeah.
Well, now we're giving you the opportunity to lose 2, which can happen. You can trip over some games, right? You can't trip over 3. And maybe some years you can.
And the team that was playing
some
the
years
best,
you can. But
the team that was playing the best, South Carolina, was dangerous, but they had the 3 losses early. Yeah, they played great down the stretch. They just lost too many
unranked LSU team at home. Granted, one possession.
That game was crazy. They had 13 chances to win.
And then you lost to the other 3-loss teams. You lost to Ole Miss head-to-head. You lost to Alabama head-to-head.
Well, this is one of my favorite days of the year outside of like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I love, especially with kids.
New Year's Day.
Yeah, but New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Especially for college, the college football side of it.
Yeah,
I've always loved, and I love it even more now. And I loved it because Wilson, we talked about this on shows like 8 years ago. Yeah, like, yo, this was easy. Just turn your bowl games and have them sponsored by somebody.
Yeah, have them sponsor the fucking playoffs. We've been talking about this forever.
This isn't hard, guys. Like, I could do this for you. I did this for you a decade ago, right? While you guys are still pitter-pattering around. Great, right? It's another great time. But this one's like it's always a level up for me. And even more so now that it's a playoff system.
Yeah,
like it just makes it more exciting. And I'm a guy that's a college football free agent. So
you don't really have a squad.
I just don't. I'm a pro guy.
I feel like I've swayed you a little to the Cuse.
Well, listen,
I got Tommy roots for the Cuse a little bit.
I do definitely when it comes to football and basketball. I've been known to keep track.
I'll tell you what.
And Greg and these guys have got me a little when it comes to football.
Yeah. So, I mean, State Penn's got a good squad.
I mean, it makes sense for me. They're both locally. I mean, I think Syracuse is my basketball team. I mean, I would say growing up,
you don't want Penn State's basketball team.
Yeah, no, growing up, I'm a UNC guy. Growing up, because I'm a Jordan guy.
Yeah.
So I'm a UNC guy if I had a team, but I don't. I'm not a fraud, so I don't. As I grow up, I'm not keeping the team because I like the player there that's been fucking 5 decades. You know what I mean? You grow up Peter Pan. So I did, but I don't have one. So I am looking a little bit because I would like to get involved.
He's swiping right, swiping left on a couple schools.
Yeah, like I'm tendering the schools. So
yeah,
if a school's out there that wants to sway me with some NIL,
listen, you got some extra money sitting around, we'll take it.
Like I will absolutely.
You want us to rock like a sweatshirt?
I'll put
team's name on it. We're here.
Listen, tell Franklin right now. I'll put on Penn State gear all day. I will never put on an Eagles thing again for a little walking around money. You know what I mean?
Wait till we lose a big game, and
just a little walking around cash. That's all.
No, Don. I wouldn't say I'm an Alabama guy, Don, because he said, "Tommy, I thought you were an Alabama guy." I'm an Alabama guy because I know they're going to have 1,000 pros under Saban, right? The Saban years made me a Bama guy because you knew what you were getting. Like I was recruiting. Makes sense? I was recruiting. I was on recruiting tour in the SEC. I'm an SEC guy, Don. That's how you should more put it than I'm a Bama necessarily guy. I'm an SEC guy.
All of a sudden, the SEC is good at basketball too. By the way,
and sticking to bowl games.
SEC college basketball is loaded this year.
Yeah,
they're the best conference by far, and it's usually not that way. It's usually Big 12, Big 10, or ACC that are better.
Well, Don asked a good question up top. There's another one he asked about an offseason of the Phils. And
great question.
I'm lukewarm, Don.
Yeah, I think we have to make another move still.
I like Luzardo. I like Luzardo.
So do I.
If he's healthy.
I like what's it called? I like Romano if he's healthy.
I like Romano if he's healthy.
Romano, when healthy, has been really good.
Yep. So I
don't hate Kepler out off the bench. I don't think he's a starter.
He is a starter. He's starting in left field.
You think so? I don't think so.
100%. It's what he already said.
I don't think so. I think they may have said that. I think we're gonna sign the dude from Baltimore.
Who?
Santander.
Santander. I think we're gonna sign Santander.
I wouldn't hate it. Switch hitter.
Yeah,
30 bombs last year.
He'll hit 35 in our park.
Yeah.
I
would have taken him over Kepler.
I'll take anything that just has a little Latin feel to it. I'll take anything that has a little Latin feel to it. Anything that has a little sauce to it. Like I'm in.
I will
for
take the
whatever.
polar bear. I think
Well,
he's
that's
going to
definitely
sign.
not Pete Alonso.
No, but I think he's going to sign with the Giants.
Yeah, fuck him. He's perfect out there too.
Yeah.
He hits against us though.
Yeah, fuck him.
Get him out of here. I get him out of the division.
I'll
'cause he
take
hits against us.
Santander.
Yeah, I like that name. I think that's a good name. I think there's been a couple people that have linked us to him. I wouldn't mind that at all. He's got a guy that's been gotten better and better the last couple of years.
Yeah. It's strange though to see
Big power numbers.
It's strange though to see Baltimore let him go. And I know they got a stable of young
they
guys.
just have so many fucking young guys. That's the thing.
They need some veterans though. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
But they'll let everybody go. I mean, they'll let Burns go too.
Yeah, it's true. I on Twitter you see some Baltimore fans that are not happy right now.
Oh yeah,
even though they have a bunch of young cats because.
But real quick, I still think we're a playoff team.
I do.
So when you ask me about the Phillies, I still think we're a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't love our lineup totally right this minute, but I don't hate it either. So I'm like lukewarm on it because I feel like I'm not going to get a full season of Harper. I can write that down somewhere. It feels like, but I won't. I just feel like I need a little bit more juice in this lineup somewhere. And Santander is a good name. I know we're talking about pitching. I don't think I need more pitching outside of the pen.
Yeah, I don't. I'm going to say I feel like I like the pitching. Honestly,
would really like to dabble with the pen, but could really use 30 home runs somewhere.
Yeah, agree.
You know, and
guess what? We didn't hit a lot of home runs last year. You would think that we did because of Schwarber and everything, but we didn't. I think the Mets, the Braves, I think every team in our division hit more home runs than us, except for the Nets.
My concern right now is yes, we are still a very good team, top 2, 3, 4 team in the NL. But I feel like we're getting too cute this year in potentially punting another year of this core's prime. Right? Seems like a bunch of other teams are kind of more all in than we are right now.
Well,
and
the
again,
kick in the face is that the fucking Dodgers. It's like you look at the Dodgers and you're like, the Dodgers just won it, and they're still out there signing. It's like, okay, you got to do something because you got to keep up.
And I understand that we're kind of in this limbo where we're waiting for like JT and Schwarber and Taiwan's money to fall off before we retool again. But then that's another year of we're wasting Harper and Turner's and JT and Schwarber's. We're wasting their primes. And then we're going to retool again as these guys are yet another year older. I'm not saying it can't work, but that's my feel right now is we're too Band-Aidy right now with these guys potentially willing to waste another year of their prime. And I think bullpen's a huge need. I think Jeff Hoffman needs to come back ASAP.
Yeah, I would like to give Hoffman a deal.
I know Alvarado's already throwing and working out, but I'm not saying I don't really trust him right now. I mean, obviously he could build that back up, but he wasn't great at the end of last year.
Yeah, the guy we got from the Angels wasn't great either.
And he's gone, right? So we lost 2-3 guys, and we only replaced one.
Yeah, there's work to be done there.
Do we move Ranger to the bullpen? What do we do at Ranger? Is Ranger on his way out?
Are they going to trade Ranger? There's been rumblings that we might trade.
There's been rumors.
Yeah. I like Ranger, but Ranger, I mean, he had a great first half. He struggled down the stretch. Yep. When he's hitting his spots, he's very good. When he's not very good.
Is there a guy out there that
deferred money, Donnie? Deferred money. That's how they're doing it.
I mean, is there a guy out there that before we sign off of here, is there a guy out there that you guys want? That either
pitching wise or anything. I mean, I want Santan. I'd love Bregman just because I feel like but it seems like we're going to run it back with Boom. But I'd love Bregman. And I don't want to give him more than 3 years.
Well, that's
and he's going to want more than 3 years.
Same thing with 5. Pete. I heard Pete turned down 3 for $90 in New York.
Like to me,
I would give Pete that, right?
Yeah, I agreed. I love me some Bregman, and he's a streaky hitter, so people wouldn't love him as much. But he's got great postseason numbers. He's a better third baseman than Bohm. I would love Bregman, but then we haven't found anybody to take Bohm. So at this point, you just got to run it back with Bohm, I feel like.
I like Bohm. So,
yeah, I don't dislike Bohm.
I'm not ready to give up on Alec Bohm yet. He's still young, man.
I agree, and he had a great first half. He had a bad second half. He had a great first half.
He was hurt the whole second half too. Not making an excuse.
Put it all together.
Not making any excuse by saying that. Just the facts. Like, he was hurt, so he never really got it back when he came back from his injury. But in the first half, he was a big reason why we sprinted out to the lead we had.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You know,
I mean, he was leading our team in RBIs.
Yeah, he was mashing the baseball. He was hitting doubles every night. So, he's a guy that I think can only get better. He's got room for growth. He's only gotten better every year. So he's only got room for more growth. I'm not willing to give up on an all-star like that. Like, he was an all-star.
And we haven't had
you know
a
what I
great
mean?
year
Like,
from
let's not
Turner
forget
yet.
about
we need
that.
Turner to come out and have a great year.
Yeah.
He was an all-star. Like, he's not the reason we lost in the playoffs solely. Like, a lot of guys didn't hit, which is typical for us.
Yeah,
that's why I
would say pretty much everyone not named Harper.
I need more in my lineup. I need more in my lineup.
Yeah, Cassie hit
100%. Tommy.
JT didn't hit at all.
It's just
Schwarber didn't hit at all.
Like, who's my starting center
Turner
fielder?
hit a little bit.
It's Marshall Rojas.
That's why I made. You know what? We've been talking about this for a little while, but it might be time to see if we can pry the kid back home. Give me Trouty. Give him to me.
My only devil's advocate.
I feel like if you're going to go get him, the time to get him is now. He's been hurt a bunch. They're not good. Like, I feel like you could get him now if you wanted.
Do need a right-handed bat.
Give me Trouty. I think he would be rejuvenated. He might have a great year.
Trouty over Santander?
Yes.
Or he plays 20. I'll take Santander. I'll take Santander over Trouty. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud.
I take Trouty.
I can't.
Especially because he's a center fielder, too.
Yeah, I just can't deal with the 45 games played.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be bad. I would agree.
It's going to happen, so I'm going to take the guy who's probably going to play.
The only devil's advocate, Tommy, to Bomer, though, is where is he in 2 years?
I don't know.
Probably on a different team.
Maybe. Not if he comes out and has the same first half in terms of a full year, he's not on another team.
True.
So
are you signing him long term? And
yes.
What do you do with Miller then?
I find places for bats.
Yeah, you can find places. You can find place for Miller.
I don't know. Right? I don't know. But like, I can also go and make Harper permanent DH at that point of his career and put Bohm over at first now because he's in his 30s. And hey, Miller, here's your spot. So yeah, things work.
Yeah, they always shuffle some shit around. You're right. Because at that point, Schwarber would probably be off the team.
Yeah, at that point, Harper's 35 years old. The way you can continue his career to 40 is let him DH. Because then you can go hit 35 homers a year for you hope. And that's what you're paying him that money for. And that part, his annual value is cheap.
I feel like the move to first will help him as well stay healthy. And he played first well this year. Hopefully he just continues to get better.
Yeah, hopefully it keeps him healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I love him. I love him to death, but I think that was the wrong move at the time. I know why we did it. I know it had to happen, but the permanent move was the wrong time. He's got to get back to the outfield.
Well, he's never going to play there again, probably.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But that's what makes you have to get rid of Reese Hoskins, who is a locker room guy. And I'm not even a huge Reese guy, right?
I am a huge Reese guy.
But that makes you get rid of him. That then takes a guy like Pete Alonso, in theory, off the table because you don't have a spot for him. And as we said, what do you do with Bohm, right? The natural progression for Bohm and/or JT would potentially go play games at first base.
Yeah, JT's not a good enough hitter.
Well, not anymore, but
my point is to ever jam up your DH spot, like to keep him after his deal. He's not a good enough hitter to take those spots up. They're power positions to me.
But we don't have a catcher to take his spot next year, though. Defensively or offensively.
Yeah, well, that's when you're talking 1-year deals,
right?
Like this is on him, bro. Right? Like,
I'm here.
Like,
I'm still on the Harper. I'm still on the Harper playing outfield.
But you go back to 80
for Bohm.
You go back to 80 and hit 28 homers.
I was going to say, JT, if he has a good year, they'll sign him to another deal. I bet.
No,
Yeah, but if he has
100%. And you
if he
have
has
to.
an- if
You
he has
don't have
a-
any other option.
If he has an average or below average year, my point is he's going to get a 1 or 2 year deal.
Sure.
He's
Yeah.
not going to get a 5-year deal
Sure.
worth $200 million unless he goes and has an all-star caliber season.
And he's not getting that anyway because he's 35 years old.
Well, he still might get 3 years,
Yeah.
right? Instead of getting 1. The only way he
Yeah.
gets himself, I think, more than a 1-year deal from this point on in his career is a monster year this year, like monster for a catcher.
Yeah.
Like you're talking like close to 300, 30 jacks, right? Like still rifling guys out. He's got to have a rejuvenated year, which he's not going to have at 35 unless he knows some good docs. You know, I don't
Eduardo
know.
Tate, the Phillies' top catching prospect, who is still in like A-ball, just won a batting title in his winter league.
How old is he?
He's like 20 years old.
That's fine.
Let me see. I'm pulling it up now.
You don't gotta be
Eduardo
30,
Tate.
so you're going to be 30 to get here.
Eduardo Tate.
And Marshawn's
is-
a pretty good catcher, in my opinion.
No, he is. He's just not the offensive guy that. Well, maybe he is, right? Because how JT hasn't been offensively really good at all.
Yeah, you get
They project
Marshawn.
him to 2028. He is 18 years old.
Oh, God.
He just won a batting title though.
I mean, maybe he can play it when he's 20. 2 years from now, he keeps winning batting titles, right? I mean, at 20, you could definitely make the case.
He won a batting title in the Panamanian Winter League. He hit 386,
Oh, my God.
How many at bats?
58 at bats, 17 games, 58 at bats, 25 hits, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 8 walks, 6 Ks.
So it sounds like he just hits. Sounds like he's just a good, pure hitter.
Yeah,
What it
well, he's
sounds
an
like.
18-year-old.
He's a pitcher, though, right? Is that what you said?
No,
He's a
catcher.
catcher.
Oh, catcher. Okay, catcher. I thought you said, I was going to say, how's he win a batting title as a pitcher? Crazy.
But Marshawn is the type of guy that can come in and
I thought he was
be
like
good enough
Spanish-
for a year
Spanish Ohtani.
to carry over. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Marshawn's a good enough guy, good enough younger kid to maybe catch for 2 years while you wait for something like that.
Yeah.
If that even is the guy. Or you go out and you sign somebody. Like that's where stupid money comes in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we don't know what's going to be out there at that point. Right. But then that's where you go out there and if you let JT walk, you let him walk and you got to sign somebody because, because the other side of it is I don't want to give up all these young kids. I don't want to give up Miller. I don't want to give up Crawford and I don't want to give up Painter because they're the guys that are going to have to carry over a little bit of a new wave here.
Yep.
And I'm going to want to spend money around them. So you sort of want them to come in and Stott and Bohm be sort of some of your veteran leadership at that point.
And I kind of want Crawford to start center field this year.
Me too. I would have. If I'm not going to trade him, like I wouldn't, right? I'm not. And you say, well, why wouldn't you trade him, Tom? Because I would start him right now. Like I think he's
Unless
better
you trade
than
him for
Rojas.
Trout.
He's better than Rojas. I wouldn't trade him for Trout.
I would.
I think that's a wasted trade for us.
I would. Sign me up.
I'll give you Rojas. I'll give you Marsh
It's
back.
crazy that we're on this part because I used to be anti-Trout. I am on board. Give him to
I'm
me.
not anti-Trout at all.
Give him
I
to me.
just
They need a third baseman.
what? Give him Bohm.
Bowman Ranger. Start the deal with Bowman Ranger.
Dude, if
Boom,
I'm them,
Ranger, Crawford.
if I'm them,
No.
I drive them. I drive them across country for that deal.
Bohm, Ranger, and Mick Abel.
Oh my God. I drive Trout cross country for that deal if I'm their owner.
I think he might come here and be rejuvenated, have a monster year, win MVP.
Too many dead injuries, man. Too many muscle injuries.
I don't like the knee. The knee being a problem the last couple of years is not great.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even run anymore. So yeah. I mean, I still
Don,
think that
that
he's
sucks.
awesome.
Greg
but
Gumbel sucks.
Yeah,
I was unaware that Greg Gumbel was the older brother. I thought Bryant was older the whole time.
Yeah.
Very
I didn't
strange.
know. I didn't know the.
Because
No,
Bryant was around before
I knew
Greg.
I knew they were brothers, but I didn't know which one was older or not.
Yeah, I was on when it said the older brother. I was like, wait, Bryant's younger? Wow. No idea. Greg Gumbel, though, that's a shame.
Yeah, he was a good one. He was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Selection Sundays are not going to be the
Yeah, I was
same.
gonna say it's always Selection Sunday. That's what I think of.
And the tournament, he was awesome.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they do the rest of this offseason. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do in spring training because
Yeah, like what are they gonna do with Painter?
Nothing.
Well, it sounds like Dave's saying that he's probably gonna start down in the minors.
He's not going to throw in any games, is what Dave said.
Oh, what?
He's just going to throw.
What does that even mean?
He's not going to pitch in any spring training game. He won't start. He probably won't start pitching till May in the minors.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that? Didn't he just pitch in the Winter League?
Yeah.
They want to limit his innings, and they're going to limit it by
they want to limit him early, so he's available late. Okay, that makes sense. I'm okay with that, though.
Until July or August.
Yeah, we're going to see him. It's just when do we see him, right?
What my question is, once we see him, is he going to start, or are they going to come out of the pen?
I guess it depends. Well, I guess it depends on what we need.
What we need at that point, probably.
My guess is he'd be like you would go to a 6-man rotation at that point.
Yeah,
if everybody's healthy, and if somebody's not healthy, he's your deadline move.
Yeah,
per se, right?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad idea.
We'll get 100 up here for a deadline move. So, yeah.
I still would love to see him go get Trevor Bauer. It's not happening. It's not happening. I know that, but be a cheap name. Be a cheap name.
Clearly, no one's going to sign him, Greg.
Yeah. No, I know.
I think that's pretty evident at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't cost any prospects, right?
Yeah, I can't believe it's 1:00. We're out of here.
Yeah, we got Crumbs.
No, and we're out.
Sixers.
No Sixers.
Yeah, Sixers.
No Crumbs. It's holiday season. I'm out of here.
Not for the reason you think they're Crumbs, but they're Crumbs. See ya.
See ya. We're out.